Bro, it's so f***ing over. 1.5 million likes on this, dude.
Really? Dude, he said I was trying to kill him the other day. He's awesome, man. He's so awesome.
Why can't y'all take a day off? So brave to dogpile a Jewish creator who was at the CP as his skull sent to his house in retaliation.
Snarker. Stop.
Oh, you're dogpiling on me. So brave.
So anti-Semitically.
Oh, yeah. You sent the skulls. You are Hamas.
She totally sent the skulls.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's like none of this like wishy-washy, it's a genocide, but all the people resisting against the genocide are also bad and scary because they're Muslim.
Dude,
like
Ethan Klein, if you're clip this, Ethan Klein, if you're watching, spend one day on your Instagram stories, just one day, or like through every other Instagram story about Hasan, post a photo of a starving kid in Gaza, post a video from Bisan, or post a video from a bombing that just happened, and show us what this state of Israel that you claim to think is a free and open place, what Israel is doing. You don't show that.
ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and ambies, we got Noah Samsen in the building. I can't believe you still have that hair. That's crazy.
Oh, the split dye? Yeah, dude. I just got it cut yesterday, and I don't know. It's just like this because I ran out of dye, you know, on the charity stream. But it's gotta go. They did my bangs crazy.
Okay. XXX Tentacion Noah.
Yeah.
Noah Samsen is a YouTuber. For those of you who don't know, he's done wonderful work. He's done wonderful work on his YouTube channel. He's also fundraised quite a bit for Palestine, for Palestinian charities. You might know him. Is this your first time like here?
I've never been here. Yeah, this is my first time.
Have we met before in person?
We met
we have, right?
at a Halloween party in October
True.
of 2023. You were wearing a Barbie kind of jumpsuit, and I was wearing a maid outfit, and we talked about Palestine on the balcony.
Oh yeah,
something like that. Really weird situation, but
oh, I remember. I think that was like, damn, that's crazy. That was a long ass time ago.
Yeah, it was like right after October 7th. Just crazy timing.
Yeah. Noah is my favorite of the PBS universe, Piker Broadcasting Service universe.
Oh, nice. I heard, yeah, you got a contract with PBS now.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I paid him $20,000.
Yeah.
I pay my PR team $20,000 so that they can
I met them on the way in, all 20 of them.
Yeah,
working around the clock.
They're just working so hard. They're working tirelessly.
Trying to scrub your old tweets and stuff. It's
They're also getting me great placements in the media, famously. Yeah, I got 20 PR guys working tirelessly around the clock. But yeah, you just joined when we were, Noah used to be Noel Miller's editor. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dude, like the first time you watched a video of mine on stream, what happened was my friend in the chat tagged you and said, because that's how they can make it red, right? They tag you.
Yeah.
You read all of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He tagged you and was like, Noel Miller's editor just made a video and referenced you. And then you pulled it up because you're like, oh, I know Noel. And then you watched it. And then that's how that like was my first big video, actually.
Yeah, that blew up?
Yeah, it was the one about like BreadTube.
But I don't understand. I thought doing reacts and stuff was like really bad for channels.
Yeah. You did make a lot, like your clips channels probably made collectively like 500 grand off me, but I'm just happy to be here and contribute, and bring some positivity.
Yeah.
And do a little bit of glazing.
Yeah, that's
not too much.
Well, that doesn't go back to my pockets. You're just funding people's college education at that point.
Yeah.
Is a forcible.
I mean, I heard it. It doesn't matter, but yeah, no. The point is, a lot of people. Yeah, that was a random thing. But yeah, Noel, I edited for him for like 3 years actually, and
yeah,
I was an editor for a while. And that's kind of how I got started in YouTube, just YouTube editing.
Oh yeah. All right. Also, get closer to the.
Oh, can they not hear me? What do you got? What do you got filters wise on this thing?
Yeah, I got some.
So I'm like, you want me right here?
Yeah.
You have water?
Yeah,
Surely.
it's right underneath your legs.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, anyways, that's
Mr. Parker, you accidentally paid $200K instead of $20K on our last hit piece on you at the New York Times. If that's okay, we would like to take this as a continued measure of your confidence in us to spin your propaganda. Please enjoy your next PR piece on the house. Thank you. That would mean 9 other PR pieces. that I'm expecting from the New York Times now.
I forgot they got the New York war crimes. You're getting features with them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Big time.
I've talked about this a lot, but it's just like I have a lot of friends that are fantastic reporters. There are a lot of them in this community as well that tune in. And I think from all of my conversations with people that work at like Washington Post, even New York Times and all these other places, like it's more so a challenge to overcome editorial control. And it's like impossible. The way that these
like the journalists say that about the editors.
Yeah, the way to get like real reporting on a thing that is actually happening that is against the interests of the American State Department has become basically impossible, especially on the issue of Israel. Like this is one of the most like glaringly obvious instances where there is that there is a filter that stops directly journalists that see what's going on and want to report on it that simply are unable to do so.
Every newsroom has come out with exposés from like a bunch of journalists being like, hey, they're making us not say genocide and not even say occupation. And like, they're making us just do a little bit of Israel glazing. And it's not crazy, but it's the most overt and the most public people have been about it. Like in terms of dissenting, you know?
Yeah. I would say that like, it goes beyond on the issue of Israel. It certainly does go beyond like this instance, this iteration of Israel's genocide. It has gone above and beyond what is normally considered like the regular filters, the self-censorship that careerist journalists have in order to like elevate themselves. Because it's not like someone being like, you can't say that. Under normal circumstances, people understand what is expected of them, right? People understand what is expected of them from higher ups that basically choose to cover certain stories, choose to omit certain information, right? Knowing full well, like when it comes to healthcare, for example, like they know that the editorial control there is, or if you want to be elevated in your journalism career, like you're gonna have to silence your actual opinions on certain issues and omit key details, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. The Andrew Marr Noam Chomsky bit comes to mind. That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's like the idea. I mean, here we can just like play that video as a matter of fact. But
first react.
Basically, it's like Noam Chomsky says to Andrew Marr, like, you're interviewing me right now because of your opinions. Like you're in this position in the media because of your opinions. You got to this point because of your worldview and how close it is to the interests of capital owners in general. You didn't actively suppress your opinions. You just, this is who you are. And that's why you were elevated. But with Israel, I think like it has gone beyond that for sure, because it's such a glaringly obvious instance of harm, and it is diametrically opposite to the interests of America's State Department goals in the region, and therefore there is direct hands-on editorial control in a way that we haven't seen prior.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's part of like what has been unearthed is like you're trying to contain this project like of settler colonialism, of genocide. And when it becomes this overt, it's like you can only contain it so long, the lies, repeatedly seeing them over again. And now being, I think, more cognizant of the way more subtle things about like language, omission, like you were saying, things they choose to cover. Like I think, I don't think the New York Times covered the Hannibal Directive at all. And I don't think the New York Times covered, there's another really significant one. Like they've barely reported on anything. Journalists being killed in Gaza. And it's like, yeah, it's all been galvanized by this whole process. And as horrific as everything going on is, obviously, it's like public perception has changed so much in the last 2 years. It's kind of stunning.
Oh, the protests, the pro riots.
Oh, they didn't cover that. The right to rape. Oh my God.
Yeah, the right to rape rally.
Jesus. Yeah.
And when they do, they will bury the lead. They'll add this additional information, like they'll hide it in the bottom of the article.
Dude, this one
the headline, the most important part of the article is obviously always like passive voice that
kids
makes
are starving in Gaza. They're
Yeah.
hungry. We don't know why. It's just something's happening, and that's the result. There was a article they did on the Al Baqa cafe bombing like 2 days ago, and it's crazy because this is the piece that's supposed to be covering Israel in a somewhat critical manner. It's like an indefensible war crime that happens.
Yeah.
But the first, you'll see in the first paragraph when they talk about casualties in Gaza, they make sure to stipulate that the Gaza Health Ministry does not distinguish between civilians and combatants.
This is it, right? A
being-
seaside refuge in Gaza torn apart by an Israeli strike. The Israeli military said it killed at least 3 Hamas operatives at Al Baqa Cafe. It also killed a journalist, an artist, and 2 best friends reconciling after a fight.
Starting with Hamas operatives, they said that they got him with no evidence, and I think one of the ties was that it was like the nephew of a Hamas commando who is just in the army there, but you're allowed to kill him while he's drinking coffee.
Yeah.
It was just a few paragraphs down where they're saying like,
if the New York Times' metric, or because the New York Times' metric for like enemy combatant is whatever Israel says is an enemy combatant, if Israel's rules for declaring someone an enemy combatant was appropriate and was adjusted for the Palestinian side, you could nuke Tel Aviv and it would be considered a legal thing to do. And and I don't think that's appropriate, obviously.
But that's true.
But anyone that is even remotely associated with the Israeli occupying force in any capacity, or is a part of any of the Israeli governing parties, part of the war coalition parties, or any party with the exception of any person that has ever served in the IDF would be a enemy combatant at all points. Doesn't matter if they're 50, doesn't matter if they're 70, doesn't matter if they're like literally the
janitor at the Mossad, I don't know, satellite campus or whatever.
Yeah,
You can just blow it up.
or even like a 75-year-old retired IDF IDF operative that has spent his life being an anti-Zionist after that. That would still be like a valid military target by Israel's designation, because they just say it doesn't matter. This person was connected to a Hamas militant, and now they don't even have to be a militant who is actively in combat. They can just be a Hamas official from the Politburo that is tasked with civil governance, like the trash collector. You know what I mean? The head
journalists,
of
that's the big thing with journalists. They just
the head of Hamas
fabricate
sanitation, civil servants.
Yeah.
Or journalists, exactly.
Make kill lists because of any. I mean, I don't know, like the example of the UNRWA defunding, where it was like out of the 13,000 employees in UNRWA, it was that 13 employees were allegedly, by the Israeli military's allegations, associated with Hamas or associated with October 7th. They had no evidence for that, but even if that were true, all that means is that members of the militant group have day jobs with UNRWA. That's all that means. But of course, you can, lay the groundwork to starve children, as we're seeing right now, from 2 years of stripping funding from like the biggest organization operating in Gaza. Crazy.
Yeah. Are medical workers included? Everyone is included.
Everybody.
Everyone. Because Hamas both has the Al-Aqsa Brigades, which is the militant wing, and it has the Civil Governance Political Bureau. The civil governance is like tasked with the education ministry, healthcare, things of that nature, trash collection, right? Infrastructure. And that's also still Hamas. That is the only governing party in Gaza. Didn't I say Al-Qassam Brigades? What did I say Al-Aqsa? Sorry, Al-Qassam Brigades is the militant wing. Al-Aqsa Flood is the October 7th operation that was named the Al-Aqsa Flood. Yeah, they have, the Israeli government has basically openly targeted, the agriculture minister or the head of police. It's completely unacceptable. It is a direct war crime.
It's the power of like the terrorism designation, right?
Yeah, but
that's
also
the bad guy, and I mean Hamas, being
exactly.
US
No, that's why
terror.
that's precisely why that vague definition exists to begin with.
Yeah.
And they're using and abusing that. They're spamming that as aggressively as they possibly can. For the media, it's enough, and there's still plenty of people who when they hear "but Hamas." There's plenty of people who just
That's
like
why they
agree with
put
it.
it right in this subheading there, right? They're like, I mean, dude, I don't know, 32 people died, like were killed by Israel. They completely destroyed this cafe. I did a video on this. Like, oh my God, Channel 4 covered it. The British outlet Channel 4 covered it pretty well because they're like, dude, these two young women were reconciling a fight that they had and they were texting their family about it and they just blew the whole thing up. And all of what happened there, the mass slaughter, is just summarized here. They're like, okay, it blew up and then probably there was a Hamas guy there. So the average American reader that has been, propagandized to believe that that's evil. There was an evil, barbaric, just evil, like Hitler in there means, okay, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. And that is, again, totally inappropriate. That is completely ridiculous. It is illegal. Okay. There are rules of warfare. There's rules of combat. There are rules for combat for a good reason. And people have tried to abide by said rules. They've obviously expanded on them aggressively over the course of many years, but you can't just shoot and kill someone, even if they are literally a fucking militant otherwise, okay? They're not actively in combat. You just can't go up and like kill a veteran, you know what I mean? Or you can't go up and kill someone who is in the military, but they're off duty.
No, that you understand, like if they're getting treated in a hospital, the hospital's a valid military target now.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
that's insane to me that like
already
Israel
wounded from being attacked, laying in a hospital bed, drinking coffee at a cafe.
Like you
blow
can't
up
even do that.
everything.
And we don't even have evidence that these guys were that person to begin with. Yeah, that's another thing that we're going to talk about. Don't worry. Saw an Atlantic article with the headline "Hamas wants Gaza to starve."
Oh, that one.
We can start
bastard.
off. We can start out with that. So you've tackled a bunch of like the Slop-tubers and the ways in which they have defended Israel's genocide, but they haven't like. There's varying degrees of Hasbara defense of Israel out there, right? And I think what a lot of the Slop-tubers have decided to do is instead of like tackling the issue head on and really talking about the politics of it or the policies or the ideology behind Israel's actions or Zionism or any number of different things that they could cover, they've decided to cover this from the aspect of drama by basically positioning themselves against people like myself, yourself, and many other content creators who were unafraid to openly state their opinion about Israel, even immediately after October 7. And they basically rode the wave of enmity for as long as they could.
What does enmity mean? Sorry.
Resentment, hatred.
Yeah, okay.
Having said that, however, they've been noticeably absent from the conversation. If you notice, like in the past couple of months, I would say,
as the tide is turning on public opinion. Yeah.
So they have been forced to change tactics, I guess, and like hyper focus on drama on other things.
Yeah, it's like the whatever framework of content that's been used to see like, okay, this guy online said something that's like kind of left politics. I'm right wing, so I'm going to clip that thing out of context, make a whole video about it, make a bunch of money off of it. The videos do well. Everybody makes the same video, so that way it boosts it in the algorithm. They're all friends. They low-key collaborate or they low-key watch each other's videos, and it's the same video where they say, oh, that guy's doing terrorism. That's the framework of how the content ecosystem works. And then a genocide starts happening, or a genocide escalates to the point of a very visible and obvious and well-documented genocide. My goat. And then now, I mean, this is a totally unprecedented thing, but what happens is they apply that same framework to an actual genocide, and all of your criticism of the genocide is towards the people that are opposing it and fighting against it. And at that point, you're helping the genocide. Like, you're backing it. That was the big thing they got mad at me and tried to sue me for, is like, you can either fight against a genocide or back a genocide. There's no middle ground here. And if the only time you spend talking about it is attacking the people that criticize it and attacking the people that have, been vocal anti-Zionists, or attacking the groups in the world that are resisting militarily as terrorists or whatever, then you're helping. That you're just backing. It's one or the other, right? And they chose that one because they don't like a YouTuber, right? That's the whole thing.
Look at the comments. They lost the narrative. Oh, yeah. The Atlantic posted Hamas wants Gaza to starve. This is by Ahmed Fouad Al-Khatib. You might be familiar with who this person is, maybe because you saw me cover him before. He's attacked me as well. He is the only supposedly pro-Palestinian voice who is Palestinian himself, even though he calls himself Gazan, okay, not Palestinian. Never met a Palestinian who says I'm Gazan instead of saying that they're Palestinian first, except for Ahmed Fouad Al-Khatib. Ethan Klein had him on his broadcast. They literally fundraised for the Atlantic Council, which Ahmed Fuad Al-Khatib is a part of. Atlantic Council is a pro-NATO right-wing think tank.
Funded by the U.S. Defense Department,
Yes.
primarily.
Yes, and Ahmed, we're gonna do a deeper dive into this because now that the toothpaste is out of the tube, cat's out of the bag, people are recognizing that Israel is deliberately starving the Palestinian population, and it's one of those things that's like an undeniable war crime of epic proportions, and it's brought out harrowing images that even mainstream media has had to cover. More and more people are recognizing this devastating reality. So of course, as time goes on, those who are tasked with defending Israel in its weakest moments for PR are getting more ridiculous.
Yeah, they have quite the heavy burden to refute 1,000 pages of reports from humanitarian organizations accusing Israel of genocide. You're gonna write an op-ed like Bret Stephens that's 3 pages trying to refute 1,000 pages of evidence. You can't do that. You can't do that, and the comments will immediately reflect that. Like, what's the shift is crazy to see. I mean, it's not crazy. It was inevitable, but seeing it happen and how fast it's happening now, as it's like the liberal establishment is kind of like, if you have Obama calling for aid to Gaza, that means something. That has to be a big deal in terms of like public perception. But like, yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't say he's pro-Palestine. I said he's pro-Palestine. In air quotes.
You talking about that guy?
Yeah.
Ahmed.
This is the
collaborator guy.
He is different than the average Israeli ultranationalist, right? He's not. He is Palestinian. He has family in Gaza. Many of his family members have been slaughtered by the Israeli state. He is a collaborator. Okay, he's a collaborator with the Israeli state that works with an American think tank that is, of course, understandably pro-Israel. America is pro-Israel. It is an American State Department cutout, right? And as time goes on, these guys are going to become increasingly belligerent and look dumber and dumber. But of course, The Atlantic wrote this piece. Hamas wants Gaza to starve. This is the only Palestinian voice Ethan Klein had it on his Hasbara podcast, wrote an article defending Israel after the world finally woke up to the famine it created. For a guy who loves to call all anti-Zionist Jews tokens, he sure loves using Israel's Arab/Palestinian collaborators.
This guy was a nobody before October 7th.
Greg J. Stoker, yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, Ahmed Fuad Al-Khatib.
I thought you were talking about Greg J. Stoker.
Oh, no, yeah, fuck this. No, that's the
he's cool.
Analysis type of guy.
Yeah. He works for Mint Press. Mint Press is great.
Yeah. But the guy who wrote this article, at this point, to make this claim and to frame it this way, you kind of have to be like a moron or paid by the Atlantic Council, because that makes perfect sense. And with people like this, based on like what they write and say about it, it's sometimes one or the other. Like there's more obvious upfront propagandists like that, the Mossad guy, what's his name, that just got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. What's his name?
Mint Press is a literal fascist organization. What? No.
Did you just do a fascism?
No, it's not. What the
I love that you talk to your chat.
Yeah,
what is it called? Getting not, one guide? Is that a thing? I learned about that the other day.
I do get one guide quite a bit.
We're making history right now, and you're gonna interrupt because you're bored.
Yeah, no, that's normal. Okay,
but that's part of the history is getting interrupted.
The Palestinian who wrote this travesty has a master's in intelligence studies from American University and has written pieces for the Washington Institute of Near East Policy, a think tank founded by AIPAC in 1985. He now runs the Realign for Palestine program at the Atlantic Council, another think tank and CIA cutout. On Twitter, he openly reposts virulent Israeli Hasbaras and wages war against liberatory language. Okay? Ram and every other hostage should be set free immediately, and food should flow freely to starving Palestinians. There's too much suffering. It will only... I mean, I don't think this is a good example of mentioning...
Oh, the suffering, won't end when this theoretical thing happens that you want.
I'm saying, like, this is not the best example of his retweet of someone who is, like, a virulent Hasbarist.
Oh,
yeah. But he does do that. I'm not saying Chef Jose Andres is a virulent Hasbarist, but...
Yeah.
But he does certainly highlight a lot of virulent Hasbarists in general. But he always tries to angle it from the perspective of, like, I'm a Palestinian, my family has been killed by Israel, And I think the real enemy here is not Israel, but it's actually Hamas. Okay.
That one was crazy. What was the headline? Israel or I don't even think he said it that way. It's like 37 members of my family were killed by Israel, but
college protesters that love Hamas are the problem.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's when you usually know. Like when someone is hyper focusing on like things that only matter in Western discourse, then you know they are being deliberate about like what kind of propaganda they're doing. And they tried to roll this out. They tried to roll this out with like a bunch of different people. Like John Aziz is another one, the peace poet or whatever.
Are we gonna watch the Bad Empanada video on the collaborators?
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Because he covers it pretty well, I think.
But his role in the imperial system is to muddy the waters surrounding the framework of the two-state solution by weaponizing its Palestinian identity, thereby complicating the situation. This is for material gain and political access. My latest for The Atlantic, Hamas actually wants a famine. Hamas actually wants a famine in Gaza. Producing mass death from hunger is the group's final play. Its last hope for ending the war in a way that advances its goals. The deception of fake anti-Hamas peaceniks, Khalil Jerry's, has thoroughly shown himself to be nothing more than a typical fraudulent peace activist who pretends da-da-da-da-da. His entire Realign for Palestine program is literally just one big psyop to confuse the framework in service of intelligence interests. Ahmed Fouad al-Khatib is a classic example of how colonialism cannot survive without native collaboration. Okay? Realign from radical extremism to radical pragmatism.
Radical pragmatism.
Yeah,
That's
calls for more
awesome.
violence must be rejected. Violence only fosters fear, resentment, and retribution. So, like, a lot of the language that he's using is specifically tailored towards like liberal interests,
100%.
and liberal needs, so that he's basically like the kind of guy that if you criticize, people are going to go, "What the fuck do you mean? This is a Palestinian,
You're speaking over Palestinian voices." Yeah. That combination of the rhetoric plus the identity. That's, I think, something I want to talk to you about is like the galvanization that has happened of the concept of like liberal identity politics when it comes to weaponizing being a Palestinian or a Palestinian identity, or weaponizing Judaism the way that Israel does it, because it's like that shit doesn't fly anymore because you see it over and over again and what it's being used to justify. And it's like, okay, you can only tell someone that, you know, they're being anti-Semitic for for wanting a genocide to stop for so long before you say, okay, that you're just lying. Like you're just completely bullshitting about
What?
the intention
Gaza
of the
are
people.
full of people that are Persians. The Bible said Gaza will fall. Non-believers, Persians are easily tricked. Like 300 and read the Bible. No, read the Bible. Look at history. People, this is just his views. Doesn't mean Hasan is right.
Surprised that person was able to plug in their keyboard. It's incredible.
That person is experiencing, I think, a schizophrenic episode right now. So I'm just gonna let him keep posting into the void. But yeah, it's time to reject maximalist language and balanced perspectives to be heard. So like these guys will very rarely ever apply this metric to the actual party that is doing maximalist violence, that is using maximalist language, right? Israel is the responsible colonial entity for all of the violence that has unfolded in the region, even violence that Israel itself has experienced, like October 7, because they set the standard for violence. They set the standard for violence, and then the inevitable reaction to the practices of apartheid that are inherently violent will, of course, invoke a violent response. This is how it works. Okay?
When people talk about, you know, cycles of violence, there is truth to the idea of a cycle of violence, but the disproportionate power, and then specifically like the inception point of that violence. The violence started somewhere, and it was the foundation of Israel, or I guess, you know, Zionism as an ideology. It starts there. Everything that happens after that unfolds under the same logic, affirming the same ideology, and, you know, reactive violence is treated by people like this as the new they're weighed in the same way, just like, you know, the New York Times will weigh them in the same way as they said this, the other guy said that. It's like there is no comparison here, and there's no way to adequately in a single article even like contextualize the discrepancy in the systematic nature of the violence. The repeated over and like, you know, the aid massacres, right? They're happening every day. It's like 50 people are getting gunned down while they're running into these, you know, cages that Israel has set up for them while starving. You see the bodies that are going into the hospitals. They have bullets in them, and you can see their hip bones. And it's like, this is happening every day, but people want to talk about, you know, things like this. They want to highlight, you know, rhetoric. They want to talk about, you know,
people's
terroristic
feelings,
rhetoric.
people's feelings.
It's about feelings and ideas and like
feelings of people in the West who like
Yeah.
like people who live in the comfortable bosom of the West, and how this hurts their feelings. It's like I don't care about people's feelings at this point. Like I usually don't when there's like a tremendous imbalance of power and asymmetry to the way that Israel has been able to slaughter so many Palestinians. It's completely ridiculous. To hyper focus on the feelings of people in the West is so insane to me.
And even when it comes to like genuine anti-Semites like Myron Gaines or something, or a Sneeko, where they do not like Jewish people and they're using pro-Palestine, rhetoric to facilitate that anti-Semitism. Even when it comes to that, people that focus in the entirety of their time, and it's fine to want to criticize the anti-Semitism there, but if all you're doing is looking at these examples of rhetorical anti-Semitism, these things these people are saying, which are anti-Semitic, but you're talking about tweets, you're talking about words versus systematic mass murder and genocide that is actually happening right now on the ground with real people. And at the same time, also the government is doing the same rhetoric, or worse, the people in power, not random podcasters, then you're helping that second group.
I tried to describe this to the Nelk boys after they interviewed Benjamin Netanyahu in my conversation, where I was like, I wouldn't talk to Nick Fuentes. I wouldn't have Nick Fuentes on the podcast because Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi, right? He is an overt anti-Semite. He has tremendous hatred for all different kinds of marginalized groups. But even Nick Fuentes is still a fucking neo-Nazi in America as like a podcaster. He's like a media personality. Benjamin Netanyahu is an actual war criminal that is responsible for this genocide, right? And he's not the only party that's responsible, but he's perhaps the most responsible. He's like spearheading this. And there's even legal repercussions that are unprecedented from the likes of the ICC to try to get him arrested for these war crimes. Like this is like, he is probably one of the worst people on the planet at this moment. Right. And therefore he's even worse than Nick Fuentes to talk to. And I don't think Nick Fuentes is a person that I wouldn't give a platform to Nick Fuentes for his opinions to begin with. But he has the opinions and he's also implementing the action beyond it. Right.
So you said you wouldn't have Netanyahu on. They wouldn't offer, of course, but
that would never happen regardless. But obviously it would be very different. A conversation between me and Netanyahu would take place in a very different setting than a conversation between
you wouldn't ask him about Burger King. No,
it wouldn't be like my conversation with Rashid Al Haddad, who is a now 20-year-old Yemeni TikTok influencer. It's not what it would be.
You see that
like.
photo he posted the other day in front of the Galaxy leader with our photos printed out?
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's crazy.
But
yes, power imbalance. A random kid subject to a genocide.
Yeah.
Since he was like 10 years old, probably.
Yeah.
Growing up in a genocide, that makes you a danger to the world, and you should be banned from Twitch, and you should be deplatformed.
Even if he was and I try to explain this to people, like even if he was literally the leader of Ansar Allah, okay, even if he was like a member of the Houthi family, a leader in the Ansar Allah movement, like that is still nowhere near at the same level of like doing unimaginable war crimes as Benjamin Netanyahu. And yet one figure is seen as like just a responsible, state leader. What do you mean? That's just a foreign leader versus the leader of a foreign nation that is conducting a military campaign to stop the genocide. Okay. In any case, I wanted to briefly get into this, but I guess Bad Empanada also has a take on the pro-Israel grifters and the Slop-tubers.
Ooh, this is the second channel?
I don't know, but Bad Empanada Live. The reason why we're covering this, for a lot of people who say like, oh, dude, like this is just drama, I totally understand why you think it is. But there is at this point like millions and millions of views that have come from these Slop-tube content creators in defense of Israel's genocide. Even if they don't directly say that they're pro-Israel, even if they sometimes say they're anti-Israel, okay? Or even if they say what Israel's doing a genocide. If they spend we all have a finite amount of time on this planet, and certainly as content creators, we all have a limited amount of time to make an impact. If you're using all of that time to attack the pro-Palestinian side as aggressively as possible and never reserve even a fraction of that animosity towards the actual responsible party here, Israel, then you're not pro-Palestine. You're just not. You are a coward who is pro-Israel, but too ashamed to openly say you're pro-Israel. Sure hoping your time here is finite, law. I mean, we're all going to die, chatter.
Wait, it's
myself
your
included.
It was your birthday a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I'm
Happy
34
birthday.
now. I'm
Yeah, so, keep doing what you're doing.
Seen a bunch of drama YouTubers defend Israel just because they don't like one guy has made me lose a lot of faith in humanity. I think it's not necessarily just that a bunch of drama YouTubers defended Israel because they wanted to attack one guy and thought this was a great way to farm clicks and do drama. It's the fact that there are plenty of people in those audiences that didn't go, this seems weird. This feels like you're just attacking this guy because you hate this guy. You're using this genocide as like a point of drama.
Well, part of it is they
clicks.
don't have a lot of them, and I would
it's the
venture to say
audiences that
they don't
exist
have the
that make me
context.
sad.
They don't have the context when you say a clip of, it doesn't matter if rapes happen on October 7th. That doesn't change the dynamic that Palestinians shouldn't be subject to genocide. When they take the first part and then they make a whole 20-minute video about how you love rape, even though all you were saying was Palestine should be free and not genocided, then of course people are gonna come to a less informed conclusion, especially when they are Slop-tuber audiences where they don't have the context. And I think like that's why a lot of times taking the opportunity to provide more context is the most helpful thing to do with those people. But at the end of the day, I think drama as like a category, it doesn't really adequately cover what we're talking about here, because we're talking about creators talking about other creators, but there's a lot of undergirding political issues that drama doesn't suffice if you're just, because it gives a sort of a tone that you're just talking about another creator for the sake of talking about them.
Yeah.
When they are doing drama content in the sort of format that they've always used, but they're also defending a genocide with it by only attacking anti-genocide advocates. So yeah, it's
I hope that their audiences at the very least, like as the attitude around this shifts, as more and more people come to that recognition. I hope that people in their audiences at the very least, like even if they still fucking hate me or hate you or whoever the fuck, right? They still at least like arrive at the correct position inevitably. That's why I'm more, I guess I'm more open-minded about people who are like, oh, now it clicked for me, right? Like the average person online that has only now come to this conclusion. I have a lot less smoke for them than I do for politicians, for example. My only expectation from those people that come to the conclusion, the correct interpretation of events, that Israel is doing a genocide, and it is perfectly valid, both legally and morally, to resist against the genocide of people, that they don't fucking do this wishy-washy, but, I only came to this conclusion late because the left was too aggressive, or because I don't like Hasan, or because I don't like Noah. I don't like Bad Empanada and the way he was speaking about it. Like, don't try to come in after the fact and then still try to like attack people who have been on the right side on this issue from the start. I know people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And maybe I made you feel really bad. I'm welcoming at this point, as long as you don't fucking consistently keep trying to cope and act as though you would have been right all along if it wasn't for these like leftists who were being annoying to you or something.
Yeah, if all the people that have been like propagating this these attacks against creators that are pro-Palestine or anti-genocide, if all of them decided right now or realize, okay, I was wrong about this, they don't need to address that they were wrong through like I don't even care if they address that they were wrong, and that they don't need to tell us that we were right, because none of that really matters. What matters is that the genocide is happening and they have a platform to say something and shape public perception. and they need to start using it. And
Yes.
like, I think even on the left, a lot of people get caught up with this idea that like the history books will reflect poorly upon these people, which is absolutely true. But it gets to a point where people are more focused on the fact that people are wrong and kind of bad people, which is true, for supporting a genocide rather than, I guess, wanting it to end and wanting to do whatever we can to do that.
Like, I'll give you an example, okay? Mudahar. If Mudahar came out 10 toes down tomorrow and was like, Israel, free Palestine, you know, he doesn't even need to say he was wrong in the past. Like, it would be nice if he did. It would be nice if he apologized to all the people that he fucking smeared just so he could fucking farm content off of it. I would literally be like, all right, good. You know, great. None of this like wishy-washy, it's a genocide, but all the people resisting against the genocide are also bad and scary because they're Muslim.
Dude,
like,
Ethan Klein, if you're clip this, Ethan Klein, if you're watching, spend one day on your Instagram stories, just one day, or like through every other Instagram story about Hasan, post a photo of a starving kid in Gaza, post a video from Bisan, or post a video from a bombing that just happened, and show us what this state of Israel that you claim to think is a free and open place, what Israel is doing. You don't show that. On your stories, you don't show that. You just attack people because you have your own gripes. Whatever, you can do that. But at least one story, 2 stories a day, not pro-Israel propaganda. I saw Hila like a post from a pro-Israel propagandist. That's pretty crazy.
Hen Mazik?
Yeah, Hen Mazik about starvation denial.
That's their favorite.
Yeah.
That's their favorite content creator.
Post every day. Post a few of them, right? And see what happens from there. Like just do that.
Start peppering in some
and I'm not even saying
anti-Israel
this,
sentiment, please.
I'm not even saying this vindictively or for any reason other than you have a huge platform of people that could see this, and that I think it's framed a lot of times by that crowd as like gore porn, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
said too.
Yeah, they said like a thumbnail of mine.
Someone said he reposted Hen Mazik like 20 minutes ago. Shut the fuck.
Yeah, so at a certain point,
So he's doing the opposite.
at a certain point, with some people, you have to say, appealing to humanity isn't going to work. It's not going to work, and
Let's see.
we don't need to spend any time.
This is my first time looking at his fucking stories.
Oh, wow, is this a
Holy
live
shit,
react?
that's so many stories, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's so many
20 hours.
stories. What is this? Does this recognize this individual? I don't know what's going on here.
I think what
Does
was
anyone recognize this individual from Montreal?
The
My Jewish
burgers.
friend.
the burger guy that was a fighter, Harley Morrison? He went to a concert and people said some anti-Semitic stuff to him, or they called him something. And then
I don't know who
guy's-
these fucking
It's like a
people
random
are.
guy that's like an anti-Semite or something, or like some kind of.
Oh,
bigot.
this is like a random. Oh yeah, what is the difference between a fat kid and a Jew? They both had time. What?
See, like that's an anti-Semite.
I dedicate this.
Doing-
Wait, what? I'm mentioned here. I dedicate this convo to Hassan Piker, Idubbbz, and Anissa, who insist that I'm hallucinating anti-Semitism. This is a very persistent hallucination.
No, that's an anti-Semitic post. Ethan, you know how that's an anti-Semitic post. What's that got to do with him? What does that got to do with him? When people say you're hallucinating anti-Semitism, it's
this
when you
guy probably
call.
doesn't like me either, dumbass.
Oh no. One thing I was looking at is like if you go back through your videos, the only person that's like criticizing Fuentes consistently for the last 6 years is you, and other
Yeah.
streamers in this zone are like hanging out with him and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like this anti-Semitism accusation is not borne out by the facts, other than the facts you spin off of a out of context clips.
Hamas
But-
on behalf of their international.
Oh, it's
Wait,
Hamas. He's doing the thing.
Hamas on behalf of international spokespersons like Hassan Piker, they sure aren't doing it for the people of Gaza who will only suffer worse from further provocation. Has Hassan ever suggested that Hamas surrender?
Yeah. So this guy's okay. Yeah.
He reposted Hen Mazik.
Just surrender, bro. Israel will.
Dude, this guy literally
leave. They
thinks
won't
I'm
annex
Hamas.
Gaza.
Like, I think he
Yeah.
genuinely thinks that like I have control over this situation. This is insane to like take a fucking ongoing genocide and actively turn it back to like your own personal distaste for your former podcast co-host because he made you feel bad when he was fucking gently trying to explain to you that you can't fucking call like Jewish Voice for Peace capos. Like if he had listened to me in October 2023, okay, and respected me and wasn't so fucking deeply Islamophobic and a massive piece of shit, he wouldn't be in this situation right now. He wouldn't be looking like a 40-year-old man who just cannot comprehend that this is beyond him and myself. It is fucking crazy. But it's also insane because there's so many people that literally think that you know, that this person is actually still invested in like the emancipatory needs of Palestinians. This is just not the case. Like, this is an incredibly selfish, incredibly self-centered person.
I mean, it's just insane to say you're
like he just keeps saying Hassan Piker
and only use talking points that propagate the genocide. Whatever he said about Hamas owning the hostages is the line from Israel. The official line. It's the official state-sanctioned, U.S. weapons shipment-sanctioned line to justify a genocide. Just return the hostages and we'll stop. No, you won't. Of course you won't. That's not true. That's never been true. And they don't want the hostages.
They literally, Hamas has literally set conditions of surrender a million times. The last round of fucking ceasefire negotiations. This is just like objectively untrue.
It's just misinformation. Like, literally.
You are spreading misinformation at the behest of Israel while simultaneously claiming that you're an ally of Palestinians. Okay? I don't understand what this man disagrees with Benjamin Netanyahu or with Israel in general. If he's saying that, like, Hamas is doing Israel's propaganda for them since we're trying everything to stop the killing and we suggest that Hamas surrender. Are you fucking stupid? That's literally the number one thing that Israel defenders have been saying since October 9. Yes, Hamas has openly stated that they want to, on October 10th, 2023, they said they would release all hostages if Israel doesn't fucking invade the Gaza Strip. Since then, they have put forth more than 40 different proposals where they have talked about a hostage swap for both the prisoners of war that Hamas has currently, which are the remaining hostages, or prisoners of war, they're Israeli military, they're IDF people that they have in captivity still, in exchange for in exchange for Palestinians that are in administrative detention, 10,000 plus Palestinians that are in administrative detention, 2,000 more of them that Israel has actually kidnapped since October 7th, specifically so they can use them as a fucking bargaining chip. And Hamas has said a million times over that they would disband, that they would allow the Gaza Strip to be controlled by a technocratic committee. Over and over and over again, Benjamin Netanyahu and his team have said no to this proposal. In any case, people like Hassan Piker want the people of Gaza to pay with their own blood so we can continue to profiteer off the tragedy is so fucking stupid.
I came in with the intention today to try and avoid talking about people like this. But when we got on
I thought we were doing Slop-tubers.
Oh yeah. I mean, specifically, I guess, he's one of the Slop-tubers, and we can. I don't know. It's just like, I think before talking about it, just establishing the fact that like there's a focus, a hyperfixation from that community, but also from people that are pro-Palestine on what these people are saying and doing, and what they're not saying and doing. And when they spread propaganda, that should be focused on, but it needs to be placed in the bigger context of what's happening rather than just this guy is a fucking Zionist freak that's supporting a genocide. It's like, he is, but so is the U.S. government, and so is like a lot of the public, and that's the problem. He is not the problem. He's the his actions are the result of this broader system. But when he says shit, like when he's doing propaganda, like obviously we should talk about it.
But when someone says like I'm a stalwart ally of Palestinians,
that's the big thing, right? Saying you're an ally.
That makes me so fucking mad because it's like I'm a stalwart ally of Palestinians. I spend every waking moment attacking other pro-Palestine content creators, demanding that they get deplatformed, sue them for fucking ridiculous shit, try to silence them over and over again, spend every waking moment having my sizable audience fucking attack them, no matter where they are, literally spam like fucking media hits that they do. And try to get them to be deplatformed or at least like have be blackballed. Basically, it's not even working, but it doesn't fucking matter. And then on top of that, I just say the exact same shit that Benjamin Netanyahu is saying when it comes to it's actually Hamas. It's actually Hamas that's responsible for the starvation of Palestinians. Okay. Well, then what's the difference between you and Benjamin Netanyahu in this regard? You are saying the exact same shit that he's saying.
And it's not like the Hitler drank water argument, right? Where it's like these things you're doing are unrelated and the comparison isn't unrelated. The talking point and the propaganda you are saying is the exact same propaganda that's being used to justify the genocide. They're not unrelated. And when the propaganda you're using is used in service to attack pro-Palestine advocates, then you're doing exactly what
Welcome.
State of Israel is doing in committing a genocide. You're running cover for it. You're propagandizing for it. You're normalizing it for millions of people on the internet, and that's why we say you backed it, is because there's only two options really, right?
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Maybe this is a change of attitude from the Slop-tubers.
Friend of the show, John Aziz. So John Aziz is this British guy who happened to have a Palestinian dad, though he has no Palestinian culture or vestiges, doesn't speak.
Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say about Ethan was like he kept promoting the Gaza Holocaust Front, the GHF, over and over again.
Yep.
Again, also fucking invoking my name for some weird goddamn reason. And then as recently as like last week, when everyone was talking about Israel's starvation, he was like, well, what about Sudan? Why is nobody talking about Sudan? He's literally doing Hasbara while simultaneously saying he thinks Israel's committing a genocide sometimes. He says that sometimes.
These guys are so stupid, actually. That's just a very very dumb guy perspective to say not talking about something means that you don't care about the thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing, but I mean, again, it's it's all two audiences.
It's incredibly
I hate to be dismissive of the propaganda because it is, but it's like, okay, it's
incredibly stupid propaganda, but unfortunately it does work for some people, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's so goddamn frustrating because people, I think, just want to feel that their favorite content creator is not like a bad person. And there is nothing more bad person coded than to defend Israel's ongoing genocide. Okay?
I got to get my maid outfit. We're redoing the podcast we did.
Arabic, he barely knew his dad at all. And he uses like this Palestinian ancestry to grift as like a pro-Israel Palestinian. Post October 7th, he like monetized his Twitter account and started like grifting as like, I'm a Palestinian, but I'm pro-Israel. And like, this got him opportunities that he otherwise never would have gotten, like writing op-eds and stuff in the Atlantic and stuff like that. The generic like capo sort of grift, the collaborator grift, where someone weaponizes trace amounts of ancestry. It's like if there was a conflict between Turkey and Greece, and I started saying like, I have Greek ancestry. Here's why Turkey should genocide all the Greeks. It's kind of like that. So if you want like more context on this guy that I'm not going to be able to give you here, because it's just a short clip covering something that happened with him recently, I have a debate with him on my main channel where I totally exposed him as being just a pro-Israel shill. And then I also cover him in this video, the token Palestinian industry, about 11 to 12 minutes in. So check those out. So John Aziz has recently been noticing that the tide is now turning against like Zionism and pro-Israel shills like himself. And I think he's realizing that he's not going to be able to keep up like this grift forever, right? You can't like trade off you being the token Palestinian for an Israeli genocide. At this point, like this is the offloading point where a lot of these grifters are going to like realize that this is not a sustainable long-term career path. And they're going to have to transition into like broader things or try to make themselves like viable in a broader sense. And one of the ways that they
for them, it's for the Yemeni guy, that's another guy who like hates me, because all of these guys, like they're so clearly invested in like preaching to a Western audience that Luai Ahmed, that they like focus their energy on someone like myself. Why would they do that? If you are a guy who is of Yemeni background or of Palestinian background, and Israel is like slaughtering your family members, like you should never even for a moment think about like pro-Palestinian college campus activists or pro-Palestinian content creators, right? The only reason why you would care about that is if your role here is a unique one where you are supposed to talk specifically, like directly to white liberals and white conservatives in America that care about that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like see this guy from Yemen loves Israel, so
yeah,
that you just got owned. So like, that's crazy.
So what I saw with like that Luai Ahmed guy, basically, because like they are they're now that this situation is undeniable by even more people. They're moving into like the right wing content grift, and I think that's probably what these guys are going to do. He said, "Bad Empanada's trying to message you." He said this, Turkish fiend. Watch my actual token Palestinian industry video essay, not the second channel slop.
Yeah, it does give good. It's a long video. It gives better context to like, because he's saying John Aziz is like
Yeah, I mean, I know them and I have talked
Yeah,
about them
yeah,
before as
okay,
well, but
cool.
I think it's good to do a refresher on those guys for sure. But we'll get into it after we watch this.
We'll be trying to do that is by disowning what they have previously said about the Gaza genocide and being like, oh, I didn't see this coming. What's happening here? What? It's a genocide? They're starving them? Oh, damn, I was fooled. Crap. And now they might try to like rebrand as like enlightened centrist grifters or like even maybe pro-Palestinian grifters in the future because they want to keep the money flowing in from their Twitter monetization. They want to keep getting like op-ed opportunities in major
that's the
media outlets
one
and
thing I
stuff
want
like
to talk
that.
about is like, it's one thing for someone to realize they were wrong and then actively work towards helping alleviate the problem, which is a genocide. It's another thing entirely to use this as a way to boost a media career. And I think with a lot of these people that are going to change their mind and try to reposition, we got to remember, we got to keep a very close record of what they said while it was happening and not let them do that. They'll try, but there should be a continuous effort to say, no. On October 10th, you started justifying what Israel is doing. You started weaponizing your identity to run cover for Israel and blame everything Israel's doing on Hamas, which is exactly what Israel's doing.
Or college protesters.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what you were focused on during this.
Yeah.
So you can try to move on. And you know, it's good if you want to make videos about how it's a genocide and you want to make like contributions to this, to like, you know, the knowledge of the space. That's a good thing that should happen. But we have to keep in mind that the reason they're doing it is a grift. They're trying to make money.
I think the only way that these grifters can ever do something that is redeemable is if they detail and identify exactly how they were paid.
Yes.
And basically out this entire pervasive influence network and work as a whistleblower.
Yeah.
Like that is the maximum impact that you could have. If you are one of these people and you've gotten your bread buttered all along, the only way that you can fucking change the tide, the only way that you can salvage what remains of your morality, okay, is to basically fucking snitch on all of the people that have been like, hey, this is a good article to write. Okay, here's some money for you.
It's like breaking the silence, right? It's like
Yeah.
the only, like we talk a lot about people. I mean, to a certain extent, you know, the world is like scattered with these IDF war criminals now that should all be tried and given the punishments that are legally enshrined. But with someone like Hila Klein, she served in the IDF. She could be talking about what happened, talking about the raid she went on in specific detail where they kidnapped a Palestinian man from his home in the occupied West Bank. She could talk about that and talk about how it's wrong. That's what she would do if she hasn't even said this, but if Ethan and her were actually pro-Palestine, they would try to use that position. But until that point, oh, you're just a terrorist. You're an actual terrorist. Like by her husband's own logic, she's a terrorist that has never repented and done anything, not even in a vindictive way, but in a like you have sway over people's opinions. And if you come out and say, this is what happened, this is how it's happening still to this day, and this is how it, relates to the Gaza genocide, that would be a good thing. But that's the only way. That's the only way.
Yeah. The thing is, like, people will be like, oh, well, you knew Ethan had lived in Israel. Like, that's what people say to me sometimes, right? Like,
yeah.
Or even Ethan himself has actually, I think, brought this up to be like, oh, Hasan knew I lived in Israel, or, knew that Hila served in the IDF or whatever. Yeah, I never have this automatic assumption that someone that's like now living in America is going to is going to be like super pro fucking Israel. That's not my assumption at all. I meet plenty of people like, sorry, I'm not fucking the anti-Semite that you want me to be.
Yeah.
I'm not.
He should have judged me for being from Israel and being Jewish. He should have been anti-Semitic. Like, that's crazy.
It's so strange, especially because like I always thought that he was like right at the edge of liberal Zionism and could have been someone who could be convinced.
Yeah.
Because of like his past statements about like what Israel was doing and stuff like that.
There was that moment like in the podcast, like right after October 7th, where he was like crying about seeing a footage of a dad holding his daughter that had been killed by Israel. Yeah. And that didn't stick, obviously. But there were signs that showed that potentially someone could be like rehabilitated or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that he like recognized the humanity of Palestinians in that moment. And maybe he did genuinely recognize the humanity of the Palestinians in that moment and just forgot about it. I don't know. Once again, people going, he had a whole N-word compilation. Come on now. Guys, this is not about like being right all along.
Slop brain.
You're doing that thing.
Brain.
We're not talking about that. I know. I knew that he had said fucking horrible shit in the past. I thought that because I have this idea that like people have the capacity to change and people can genuinely
It's like
become
how you talk to the Nelk boys, right?
Become better versions
Like,
of themselves.
You are willing to have a conversation with someone. And I know that like platforming and like changing minds thing gets like abused a lot. But when you talk to the Nelk boys about their interview with Netanyahu, that was a genuinely very good thing. And you could tell that they were receptive, at least to some extent, of what you were saying about how they platformed a war criminal and let him do propaganda.
I do think that like aggressive negative backlash also helps though, because I think that was probably more helpful. In getting the Nelk boys to like change trajectory,
absolutely,
and have like the Boss and Music podcast on.
Yeah.
So
with Ethan, it's different in some ways, but just your approach generally,
dude,
I think is.
I think prior to the Benjamin Netanyahu interview, the Nelk boys have done less pro-Israel propaganda than Ethan, with the exception of like literally going to Israel and doing pro-Israel propaganda before October 7th.
100%.
Like that's the difference. Like this man has spent every waking moment shitting on pro-Palestinian voices and constantly fucking repackaging like the same kind of propaganda that Benjamin Netanyahu ironically deployed on the Nelk Boys podcast. So that's the difference here. It's the same principle behind like Bernie Sanders. It's disappointing, and it definitely caused me to see him in a different light. That he like still holds on to this liberal Zionist position this far in, when as and this is a conversation I had with Noah Culwin before on the broadcast, where he is like an incredibly prominent, the most beloved Jewish political figure in America, and who has never shied away from demonstrating radical politics, right? And saying the truth. For him to, at this stage, still consistently, not Chuck Schumer, I said beloved chatter. What are you talking about? I'm saying like a popular politician who has run for the presidency and has openly said, has openly floated the idea of like denying weapons transfers to Israel in 2016. That was a radical proposition in 2016 for many Americans. And the fact that a Jewish man was saying that was huge for many Americans. Okay. And in this time and place, like Bernie should not be still promoting liberal Zionism and liberal Zionist talking points, saying Israel has a right,
genocide.
Israel has a right to defend itself. Hamas started this on October 7th. These are ahistorical and also just incorrect interpretations of this conflict. And
he is unfortunately doing this like weird form of genocide denial, where he says it doesn't matter what we call it, it's bad. It's like, well, it's genocide, you should call it that. But anyways.
But the point I was trying to make with Bernie is that like Bernie doesn't get in the way of other people who are past him on this issue. Okay, he doesn't shy away from endorsing candidates and politicians like Zohran or even Abdul Al-Sayed in Michigan who are anti-Zionist. Right, he does not shy away from that at all. Whereas someone like Ethan Klein straight up will, similar to Brad Lander, exactly. Brad Lander is another good example of this as well. Brad Lander has done even more than that, right? But having said that, there are other people out there who are doing propaganda for Israel and have not shied away from consistently doing propaganda for Israel, even if it's at great harm to their social standing, which is something that they care about, right? And that's what's crazy to me. That is what's actually fucking insane in this situation. Is like you are so ride or die that you're still willing to do this thing that even your own fan base at this point is going to recognize is ridiculous.
Yeah, all out of spite, all out of a personal vendetta, and obviously, Zionist propagandizing from living there and, being married to an IDF terrorist. It's like all these things coalesce into this thing where you're causing harm, but enough people are aware of what's happening that it's a losing fight. And that's why I'm curious to see what'll happen. Cause it's like this is one of the most egotistical people that I've ever seen. like as a public figure on the internet or whatever. So being able to admit that you were wrong about a genocide and admit that you were propagandizing for it, it's not going to happen. It's just not. And that's, I mean, to a certain extent, like you're saying, someone like Bernie, you know, you're not going to stand in his way. Just like you'll criticize him when it's necessary, but you're not going to stand in his way. Just like he has, because he hasn't stood in the way of a lot of like activists and what's happening in the same way that a lot of Democratic politicians are. But at a certain point with someone like Ethan, you just cut your losses and say, okay, we'll just like kind of farm this guy to raise awareness for the genocide and educate people for the genocide. And that's like, I really appreciate that about like Bad Empanada, Overzealots, Chris Kunzler, and all these people that are doing this like really good work to just use this person that clearly doesn't, like, if it happens, great, but it's probably not going to happen. And you have to identify which people, I guess, you can facilitate change through. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's not about me and you. It's not about content creators. It's not about anything that we feel about anyone or anything a politician feels about what's happening. It's about the material action and what's happening right now and what we can do to stop it. And, you know, there's that quote from this poet, I forget her name, but it's like, whatever you can do, throw sand in the gears of genocide. Like however much sand you can throw, even if it's just a little bit in your nail, like whatever you can do means for you personally something different for everybody. But you know, I think my favorite form of it and the most effective, at least for like my channel and stuff, is just farming people like that don't want to change. And if they don't, then you identify that and you move on and you use that to try and do something. And I don't know. Yeah, it's like
I mean, it's like at this point, if you're still watching H3H3 and he spends an insane amount of time just like shitting on pro-Palestinian content creators and like regularly doing pro-Israel propaganda, you're not just like watching a regular fucking you know, goofs and gaffs show.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you're consuming fuck Palestine, fuck pro-Palestinian people propaganda. That's what you're doing. You are also, without recognizing it, slowly but surely, most likely changing your own political perspective, because he's drip feeding right-wing sentiment and pro-genocide positions, beaming it directly into your fucking mind.
Dude, he's radicalizing them. That's the big thing that they get you for, is saying that you radicalize people into like crazy left tanky stuff that's not the good kind of leftism, which is liberalism, which is fascism when it comes to Israel. And that's what, dude, posting like 50 Instagram stories a day, that's like already laying the groundwork for some crazy shit to happen. 50 concerted Instagram stories about specific people and, you know, characterize pro-Palestine activists as terrorists, but then combining that with like a 4-hour show where, dude, I was going to say that if you watch it, I've watched a little bit of it recently. No, I know you haven't. That's good. But the way the vibes are fucked. The vibes of that show are fucked. It's just a guy like kind of sitting there being like all worked up and angry about everyone and bringing up names of people to call them terrorists and like having to have his wife get him to stop calling people bitch because he's just calling the women he's suing bitch, and like all this stuff where it's like an angry guy surrounded by a bunch of yes men. And I don't know, like if you're still into that because they do goofs and gaffs in between, which they barely do, that's just like, oh yeah, you're at some point you're in it for the Zionism, or you're in it for the, I don't know, you're in it for the content and you're in it for the Hasan battle or whatever.
But the content that you're getting out of that is just like slowly,
apologia.
It's going to fuck your real world relationships as well.
It is.
Because like I sometimes like I'll see this on Twitter or on Reddit where someone will be like, I don't really understand. Are these people like Hasan snarkers? And they're like, they'll literally be talking about like a person who doesn't know who the fuck I am, who just has the same position that I have, because many more people are finally coming to this fucking conclusion. I didn't like break their brains into believing that Israel was committing a genocide. Israel made people recognize that it is absolutely invested in committing a genocide by killing children every day. Okay? So if you think you're like pro-Palestine because your favorite content creator says he is, and then you just like repeat the shit that he's saying, most people in the real world are going to look at you and be like, what the fuck? What? You're fucking, I think you're pro-Israel. That's
Yeah.
gonna start ruining your real world relationships,
I've
your
seen
real
those
life
posts where it's
relationships.
like my wife keeps calling me a snarker and I don't get why she doesn't know, like shit like that, where it's like, what, you're using a term that basically just means, it functionally means the same thing as terrorist, which means bad guy. And everyone that doesn't like me or criticizes me and my favorite content creator is a snarker or a terrorist or a bad guy. And everyone that likes him is like, yeah, I like
get
them.
out of the get
But
out
it's like
of
my
this
wife left
space.
me because I like H3 and I watch it all the time, and I like every time I see Hasan's face, I start foaming at the mouth and my like legs break from rage or whatever. It's like this seems wild. I don't know. This
It's
seems like
that-
an unhealthy exchange.
That's not good, man. I don't know how else to describe it. That's just not good for you. That's not good for your mentality.
No.
Okay.
But then yeah, combine that with the fact that your brain is now full of pro-Israel talking points, and you come out of your little like echo chamber to talk to someone, like the thing comes up, and then you're doing propaganda, and they're like, yo, oh, we all know it's a genocide. You're just in this little space that calls it a genocide, but doesn't actually act in a manner that would show that they believe that,
Yeah.
or acts in a manner that actively, disputes that claim or denies it. You're an insane person, and they should be shunned. They should not be allowed to be the local dog catcher, as you said, because that's insane. But one day once they're out of it, it's kind of like having a relative that's an addict or whatever. You're like, yeah, this shit's not going good for you, and it's kind of, you're hurting everyone in your life, and it's really unfortunate. But I'd like
Glad
it if you
you're getting
stopped.
better.
Yeah. Should
Yeah.
go to we should open a rehab center, Ethan Klein Zionism Rehab Center, something like that.
And how can they do that except by rebranding? Because, the tide is turning, the genocide is only getting more and more obvious and undeniable with time. So if they want to keep the cash flowing in, they want to keep their totally unmeritorious op-ed writing career going, they're going to have
this
to
applies
find
to us
some
too, 'cause
other
we're
way to
grifters
keep up
for
with it. So
genocide,
John
remember?
Aziz has recently been posting totally uncharacteristic things like, enough is enough. This is a government minister. It's not some random crazy person. Stop this right now. There is still a chance to make peace after an Israeli government minister said that Israel is racing ahead to wipe out Gaza and make it Jewish. Now, this is something that these people have been saying and doing as well this whole time. It's nothing new. But John Aziz has been defending it for the last 2 years. But now that he sees that, maybe I can't sell this anymore, maybe reasonably I should try to be jumping ship if I want to have any sort of future career as a grifter. Maybe this is my off-ramping phase.
You want
So now
food?
he's transitioning from,
yeah, you ordered
there's no
food.
genocide, they're doing nothing wrong. Actually, what they're doing
ordering
is good to, what? Bad things are happening. This is the government's
place,
fault.
but hold
And
on.
and a couple of years down the line, when he gets called out for this, he's gonna point to these posts and say, "Hey, I was announcing this when it happened," and ignoring his previous 2 years of justifying it. And he's like, "Man, I've been bamboozled. I didn't know about this. I saw some individuals saying stuff like this, and I dismissed it as crazy outliers while also condemning it. The truth is that I should have taken a much harsher line against this poison all along. It's coming from the literal fucking
show the
government. It has
camera.
been the whole time.
Yeah.
It's coming from Israeli society as a whole as well. They all want this." Any poll shows it. Let's look at recent polls showing that more than 80% of Israeli Jews want all Palestinians
Wait, where's
expelled
the
from
camera? My
Gaza.
fault.
Recent survey conducted by Pennsylvania State University by an Israeli professor at Pennsylvania State University, published in Haaretz on the 28th of May. 82% of Jewish Israelis back expelling Gazans. And this guy's like, I saw some individuals, just some individuals, literally 4 in 5 of them, more than 4 in 5, in fact, saying stuff like this. And I dismiss it as crazy outliers while also condemning it. They've all been saying this the whole time openly. It was the plan from the very beginning. They leaked plans. The Israeli government leaked plans outlining their expulsion plan, literally immediately after they started invading Gaza. Paper drafted in October 2023, which proposed expelling all of Gaza's residents to Egypt. 82% of Jewish Israelis support this. And this guy who has been insisting there's no genocide, they're not going to expel anyone, it's just to destroy Hamas and get the hostages back. Now he's like, what? It's actually to expel and kill everyone?
That's the face.
And take over Gaza for Israel?
Oh my god, no way.
What?
Crazy.
I had no idea. It's coming from the government? What? No way. There's going to be a lot of other people having this about face. Lonerbox has been doing this recently as well. Though he is worse than John Aziz still, make no mistake. Loner's prediction for Israel's aid plan came true immediately. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Look at that.
It's funny because he's crafted.
Zionist
Because he's
audience.
crafted such a Zionist audience, those videos don't do well, I suspect, as opposed to like,
I bet the comments are a mess.
yeah, they're like, what are you saying? Israel's not number one? What are you saying? Israel number one. Fuck you. You hate Israel? Do you not love Israel?
I wish I could do an accent, but I would just come off very badly.
Yeah, I mean, I come off really badly too, but it doesn't matter.
That's pretty good. I thought it was pretty good Israeli accent. Yeah, the replies to all these
I live
guys.
two doors down from this anti-Semite on screen. Bad chinchilla. He wears Teddy Fresh tracksuits on the weekends.
Exposed.
He was mad at his own chat calling him anti-Semitic. I wonder why you have cultivated such a community that would consider any criticism towards Israel to be anti-Semitic. I wonder how that happened.
Dude,
oh
that
no!
guy, this guy said, what did he call it? He called a one-state solution anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
Right?
He also he had some
that clip.
choice words. I heard he said something along the lines of like, if all Jews are pro-Israel,
Right.
then you're and they're all no. If all Jews are pro-genocide of Palestinians, you're anti-Semitic for being against the genocide of Palestinians. And I was like, yeah, okay. Who cares? What do you mean? Like, that's such a fucking stupid argument. What do you think? Like,
If that's anti-Semitism, the word doesn't mean anything.
yeah,
anymore. then being Jewish is being pro-genocide. That's what
Yeah.
that means. And
Which
it's like,
is
oh, that's
incre-
anti-Semitic.
which is incredibly anti-Semitic.
yeah.
It is such a fucking stupid argument that you could only put together if you just think like Jews are magical, mystical, mythical people or something. Like, what the fuck do you
But
mean?
they're allowed to do that. I mean, that's the logic of Israel, though. Right? It's like this happened to us, so so anything we do is justified because anything we do is in defense of allowing it to happen again and just weaponizing it, right?
Contemplative thumbnail. Unacceptable. Oh my God, Israeli policy didn't work at giving aid to Palestinians in Gaza? No one could have ever seen that coming. It's almost like it's not intended to help them, but it's like, oh man, Israel really effed up. They took a big L here with this bad policy. They were genuinely trying to, like in good faith, trying to implement a policy to help people in Gaza, right? That's the sort of thing that he's going for. And he's like, oh man, I'm just critiquing them. This is the sort
Everyone has something to say about ContraPoints.
of guy who would like critique the amount of rations in the death camps rather than just denounce the Nazis for having death camps. That's who he is. These people are going to be trying to dial back and whitewash what they have been saying this entire time. Think about it.
Teddy Fresh tried to send me like a PR poll, and and she was like, yeah, that's gross. I don't want that. And he straight up was like, she's an anti-Semite.
She doesn't want to support Israel Zionist-owned businesses.
If you don't
Anti-Semitic.
wear my adult baby clothes, you are a fucking anti-Semite, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
He straight up said being Teddy Fresh was akin to the Holocaust. No, stop.
Y'all tripping. If he did say that, I need a link to the clip.
That's
Maybe he did.
great. Yeah, Vanilla Hamas. Vanilla Hamas.
Oh shit. You got a funny chat, man. Sometimes when they're not yelling at you or trolling you.
She wasn't even talking about like Zionism, by the way. She just said the clothes are ugly. That's it.
That's anti-Semitic, man.
Which is, of course, incredibly anti-Semitic. I can't believe
Because
you
being
said
Jewish is liking shitty, weird clothes. That's
Yeah.
what being Jewish is.
He's
which
gonna
is
clip
not
you.
anti-Semitic.
He's
by the
gonna
way.
clip you. He's gonna clip you and be like, "Oh, that's we
Teddy
got him.
Fresh,
He's being
shitty,
anti-Semitic.
weird
We got him."
Yes, yes. Brother, I
Please.
was quoting you. You made the sandwich.
Anyway,
They will try to distance themselves from it. Oh, he released another one too. Whistleblower testimony on Gaza aid plan reveals shocking details. This isn't shocking for anyone but you, Loner Bucks. You're not even shocked by this anyway. You know that you're trying to defend a genocide. You're consciously doing so. You know what's happening. You're just trying to defend it. Whoa, shocking details. Everyone knew this was happening from the very beginning. Everyone knows what they're doing in Gaza and why they're doing it. You're just trying to pretend otherwise because you're a fucking idiot. Well, yeah, you are an idiot. You're stupid, but you're not defending genocide because you're an idiot. You're defending genocide incompetently because you're a shit, terrible person paid by Israel to do so. These little rats are going to be scurrying out.
many of these people is I don't know about Loner Box, but like a lot of them are not even paid
Right.
by Israel to do this.
Yeah.
They're literally doing this because
For the love of the game.
they just backed the wrong horse. Some of this does go back to Destiny because these guys are like his dick riders, right? His orbiters. They call themselves that. And basically after October 7, this fucking moron who is a horrible deadbeat dad and a sex pest, decided, oh, Hasan is pro-Palestine, I'm pro-genocide. And he just came out of the gate swinging with that statement and then had to basically engage in the worst ad hoc rationalizations I have ever fucking seen. And he had the audacity to do this in real time, okay? Basically documenting every step he took, and all of his fucking dumbass orbiters that aren't even getting paid by the state of Israel.
That guy, Destiny fucked that guy's girlfriend, I think. Something like that.
I don't know.
There's some weird lore with them.
I don't know like the deep details of the lore and their background. I don't care. I don't care to know. It's just like,
but it's just like they're doing it for free because they are part of the orbit.
Yeah,
like
but it's
and then they
crazy.
join in on the propaganda.
It's crazy. At least like you could have gotten some benefits out of this, man. You just are doing this for free.
I think they might have got a free trip, but like.
Free trip to Israel.
Yeah. Thank you. Super good. Super
Great.
awesome. They got to hang out with Elon Levy. That's fuck yeah.
I got
best thing ever.
I got a free trip to Israel, and what is it? Here's a link to the vanilla thing. Oh, I think
you know who
this
hit me up today on Instagram? Teddy Fresh. They said, "Hey, we'd love to send you some stuff. How about?
This is incredibly anti-Semitic. Please don't watch this.
How about that?
Yeah, they're going. No, her chat's going. No way. Oh hell no.
Sorry, I don't know. Do I need like media training now that I'm like have more people in here? How about?
That's funny.
How about? Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Are you out of your freaking mind?
Do they design the merch themselves?
Bro, it's so fucking over. 1.5 million likes on this, dude.
Really? Yeah, it's over.
H3 fans
I've never seen that many likes on TikTok.
Millennials who wear only pastel. The millennial who only wear color block
Wait,
pastel
pull up
are gonna
Teddy
come for
Fresh.
me?
Let's look at some of it.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Because it literally is
God
that.
damn it. Please, even
yeah,
if
that's
Ethan
the-
wasn't a raging frigging lunatic, I still would never wear fucking Teddy Fresh.
A certain
So butt-ass ugly. Oh my god. Okay, anyway.
Here's another dipshit I need to deal with. Why can't y'all take a day off? So brave to dogpile a Jewish creator who was at the CPS's skull sent to his house in retaliation.
Snarker. Stop it. Dude, he said I was trying to kill him the other day. He's awesome, man. He's so awesome. Stop.
Oh, you're dogpiling on me. So brave.
So anti-Semitically.
Oh, yeah. You sent the skulls. You are Hamas.
She totally sent the skulls.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's like he did so much content around like skulls being sent to his house and like CPS being called to his house or something. And I think it's like ridiculous, obviously, to do those things. It's fucked up, right? And I said that from the start. But he tried to literally bring that to every conversation where it was like, oh, you don't like Teddy Fresh? You sent skulls to my house. How dare you say you don't like my wife's adult baby clothes at a time in this troublesome time.
That's murder, bro.
In this troublesome time where I've had, as a Jewish man, skulls sent to my house.
It's not even
and
that he has it. It's
CPS.
like she helped because she said this thing. She's a part of the snark, the giant scary thing that's all around me that did skull stuff and did CPS. It's like, I don't know. It's like a guy that's backed into a corner, alone in a room. Crazy.
Oh man, buy Teddy Flop or you're a Hamas. Oh man, it was
TikTok hates that guy.
Yeah, it's not. Twitter obviously is already a shitty ass space to try to figure out whether someone is good or not. But he's got the only place he can fucking hide in is his Instagram stories at this point because no one can like respond to it.
Yeah, and he's like said that publicly, right? Like I like posting these because no one can say anything.
No
back.
one can just like quote retweet him. So he just like can say from his hug box whatever the fuck he wants. His own chat, which is like heavily moderated to eradicate all criticism, even from fans. And then I guess like that's it. He just has his little community that's increasingly getting smaller and smaller, and the fucking clothing business is falling apart. Other producers in the space are leaving. No one wants to collaborate with him, and he just can't understand why. And he just keeps fucking pushing over and over and over again.
When you get on NPR, it's because you paid but he's not on NPR. He's paying like random Substack writers to write AI articles about how, it's anti-Semitic to not buy his clothes.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is like this contributes to anti-Semitism
Yeah.
a lot.
So anyway.
It's cheapening. It's saying, oh, anytime a Jewish person something happens to them that they don't like, they just call it anti-Semitic. That doesn't mean anything now. So now I'm anti-Semitic. Like that process is these types of things like facilitate that process, which doesn't absolve blame from people being anti-Semitic, but it's like, you know, if you're weaponizing it every time something bad happens, then you're cheapening it. Like you're making it something that doesn't actually have real world effects.
Oh,
right?
isn't this is Dan Stalkman, the Diddy man himself, his
Diddy
company.
Dan, yeah.
Diddy Dan's company, Redact Dev. Oh God, that's another freak. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a weird.
So anyway, you would
annoying.
expect Hasan to make this valiant.
Hasan's shocking and totally unexpected response to the Mikey clip.
He's Mikey.
It was Michael from Pennsylvania who's banned right now
Oh, yeah.
because he says some shit and then immediately was like, oh, I meant Zionism. I didn't mean Judaism. But
He
it doesn't.
said like Jewish Judaism is a constructed demonic identity, but then he said it was Zionism he meant to say, right?
Yeah, and then they of course snipped the second part. I mean, you got God. That's you know.
You can't be saying that, white baby.
Yeah, you got God. It's funny because like I didn't know what he had said at the time. Okay, I just literally said I don't know what he said. I'm talking about fucking, children being starved right now, and this is what you want to bring up because you want to farm a clip. Okay, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I ultimately don't care. I'm not Michael from Pennsylvania. Go take it up with him. Okay, that's what I said.
Yeah.
And I also said in the process, you're just looking to farm a clip
From you.
from me.
Yeah.
And they clipped it. And then
Oh,
he
yeah.
literally played that part on his stream. This is the video. I saw this.
Offering to his Jewish audience. And if there are any Jewish audience left in his crowd, which I'm sure there are maybe a few of the like the ones who are proud tokens to be spent
Wow.
by a person who fucking wants you to die.
You hear that, chat? All Jewish folks in the chat? He wants you to die. And they're still here.
Yeah,
Are you
all
guys?
the-
You
yeah,
need
you
mental
guys-
health. Please get some mental health.
And not in the regular depressed kind of way, but in a special, different kind of way. You hate yourself. You want, oh, you're all tokens. Oh.
Not anti-Semitic, by the way. Him saying that, yeah, not anti-Semitic. Crazy, bro.
And who's about to defend a Nazi. Let's hear what he has to say. But I hope that if
Think
there
about
are
Mike
any
from
Jewish
BA?
people left in his audience.
Lolo to no.
Right,
Okay.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
like,
God, Dan. Oh, this is the saddest. This makes me more sad than Ethan's decline. Honestly, this man has a proud history of like being direct descendants of Bolsheviks. Okay, Bolsheviks. Like he is part of the reason why I did Leftovers. You know, and now he just is the most well-paid babysitter, I guess, and has slowly but surely increasingly become a bigger and bigger dick rider when initially his role was to just like keep Ethan in check, and now he's just low but no.
That
Good.
one was clanking around
Thanks,
in my
man.
brain as well.
Oh, wait, you should have got.
yeah,
He's the
I
monk.
don't know, it was
That
like
was
2
more about-
episodes ago.
Yeah.
Ethan made the claim that I said that I was trying to kill him. That I said that I said you should get a gun and go kill propagandists. It was something to that effect. I'd have to get the timestamp. It was crazy, like crazy thing. And Dan immediately was like, he didn't say that. Nope, that's not what he said. And he was like, I'm pretty sure he did say it. He was like, nope, that's not what he said. We can pull it up. And then he's like, no, I'm pretty sure he did say that. And then we watched it. It was like, oh, he didn't say that at all. What are you saying? But then Ethan's like, well, it was pretty much the same thing. And Dan's like, yeah. And then they move on. And it's like, oh, he's willing to challenge him, but it doesn't, like, it's the king on the throne. Like, there's nothing you can do at that point.
No, he's
And-
not even like challenging him. He's just ass covering so he
Oh,
doesn't
it's
get
legal.
himself.
It's a legal threat. Like he
Yeah.
lost that lawsuit, right? Like he knows what defamation. I mean, he doesn't know what defamation is apparently, but because he's still doing it. But like he has people around him that are.
For him, it's
Yeah.
it's literally he actively defames me and Sam Cedar with regular frequency in like horrible ways, right? But the reason why he does that is because he knows that if we sue him for defamation, that's a long and drawn out, convoluted legal process that he can make content off of. So because he's just so fucking busted in the brain that even if he ends up losing that long and drawn out legal process, which he would, it's still, he's made this calculation, I think, in his mind that like, it doesn't matter, even if he loses hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process, it's still worth it because in that year-long period, he can constantly make content off of it. Just like with the what was his name? Fucking Brian Kavanaugh, the billionaire guy.
Ryan Kavanaugh, yeah, the guy who sued him for defamation.
Yeah, like successfully
and won.
won.
He had to apologize. It was so funny. He had to read an apology.
But
on
in the
stream.
process of like creating, like he always needs villains. He doesn't have any other content. He just like needs to have major villains that he's positioned against, that he like psychotically stalks. And for the most part, those villains have been like universally acknowledged bad people, whether it be like a billionaire guy or whether it be Keemstar,
Like
you know,
Myron
people like
Gaines
this, or like Myron
whatever.
Gaines. Like,
Yeah.
so it's never been like this before, where he can, where he has a hard time coming to terms with the reality that like all of these other liberal outlets are not like taking his propaganda seriously.
No, it's like it's like debate lord stuff. Like when you foster a community of people that just are there to see you get mad at people and own people and have enemies and fight with people, your community is gonna be full of fucked up weirdos that are gonna be down to just be like, yeah, I mean, I'll support a genocide as long as the guy who I don't like is the one we're attacking for it. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense why that happens.
Yeah.
I feel like your aversion to like debates and that sort of stuff, even if you do like the drama slop occasionally, probably makes your community a little less, you know,
Oh, for sure.
freakish like that.
And we also actively stamp it out. Like this is one of the few instances where I'm allowing it to, I'm letting it rip because you're here.
No,
But under normal circumstances, I don't like, especially because it's a Saturday. You're here. I would normally never entertain any of this because I'm covering the fucking news. And most people in my community, other than the people that are in here currently, most people in my community have no fucking clue what, I don't know, Ethan Klein is up to. They're not interested in it because they're.
yeah, I thought it was done for a little bit, and I was glad. I was like, damn, this stuff. I hadn't heard about it for a while, and then
Yeah.
we came back in the news cycle when he said I was going to kill him or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Content
So go
nuke
ahead,
again?
Hasan. Teach us how it's done. Paragon of anti-racism.
Let's go.
I don't know what the fuck Mike from PA said. I don't give a shit, okay? And I don't care about what your concern is. Let's be fucking real. You are not concerned. You are just trying to simply farm a clip.
Oh my god. Oh my
Which
god.
they did. They literally did do that.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Like they were successful.
Yeah, and Dan is like, they were successful. They farmed the clip off you.
Oh, they're gonna farm this clip. No, and then it just cuts right to him fucking
gotcha.
ending the clip.
He's so pathetic.
But also he saw
That
the,
sounded more like he doesn't give a shit about
Yeah,
Mike.
that's-
Which
you
is
know?
in line with what we have previously kind of asserted, that he's sort of not really in the inner circle despite wanting to be.
I don't think
he's-
This
that's-
is a straight up bar for bar. Shame on you, Dan. You know that you are repeating something that the sex pestiny community has cultivated. You are literally saying that bar for bar, that, oh, like Mike from PA wants to be in Hasan's inner circle and he's not a part of it. It's like Mike from PA is his own man.
That guy
Okay.
makes like 20 grand a month on subs.
Yeah,
man.
he's an adult. He has his own successful fucking, content creation. He has his own views. You're fucking. It's just so sad to just constantly be like, no, Mike wants to be Hasan's friend and Hasan doesn't give a shit about him. It's like, it's parasocial. It's silly. Just fucking stick to the issues. If you have an issue with what he said, then, talk about that. But you can't do that. It has to be fucking, everything has to be considered from the framework of drama.
Yeah, invited to the
Because like what
That's
what
not what's
as it
happening
was
here.
clipped,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that's what's happening.
That's
I will
not
say,
what's
though,
happening.
I think
Mike
what you're
said
saying is
was anti-Semitic.
Like you said, you have a childish brain and you do childish things. Mike from
funny.
PA is way more radical than you and pretty often disagrees with you on stream. Great. I have no issues with people who disagree with me who are on the left. I've said this over and over again. I don't have issues with people who disagree with me. I think that's healthy. That's a normal part of discourse. And that's also a normal part of coalition building. Okay? It's normal. There's a reason why you don't see me left bashing often, even if that's how my fans should be as well. You shouldn't be going to other content creators, okay, who are on the left, who are advocating for progress, advocating for the same things that you want. But because they have like any sort of disagreement with me or with whatever your worldview is, you shouldn't be like going into their chats and like constantly fucking chirping at them. Okay? You shouldn't be doing that. That's f***ed up. Okay?
I mean, it's indicative that maybe your values aren't actually aligned with the left, right? Or aligned with pro-Palestine activism, if that's all you do.
Do you have issues with people who criticize your drip, which is, to be honest, extremely warranted, Onk? No, my drip is excellent. Actually, that's the one thing that I do not allow.
Permaban.
By the way, you called this out ahead of time.
I didn't realize he
While discussing the Netanyahu interview, Ethan Drine draws a line, an equivalence between the Prime Minister of Israel and a Yemeni teen TikTok influencer.
No way.
No, they think he's worse than Benjamin
Yeah,
Netanyahu.
Totally.
That's the thing. Like they literally think it's worse.
He was even
than
saying shit like, "Oh, your worst take is that he's Burger King."
The whole thing was Netanyahu saying we're so relatable, you know, we're just like Americans. And actually, it's not just about protecting Israel, it's about protecting you. It was fucking insane.
It was let's humanize the killing of
Yeah.
Palestinians. It was genuinely just like, what are we? I can't believe they had fucking access to that, and I can't believe that it was carried out. I genuinely just like, it is so dangerous that such stupid people have access to such powerful stupid people.
And to add on to what you said,
I can't
Tom, like I
believe
think Hasan said there's no circumstances in which I would interview Netanyahu. And I think Netanyahu's like the one
That's
exception.
not
where,
true. He
like,
said he would interview Netanyahu.
I from what I saw, he said no. Unless
No, I said
you
I
say
wouldn't
about it?
interview. I said I wouldn't interview Nick Fuentes. And I wouldn't platform Nick Fuentes. Benjamin Netanyahu, I would interview. I would just be incredibly fucking critical, obviously.
Said a
You
different point,
platform
but
Netanyahu.
No, he
Yes,
said he
I
would.
Unbelievable.
Although I'm sure he said I'm equipped to interview Netanyahu. Meanwhile, again, he goes, I heard you guys have this video. He goes, you guys asked him about Burger King and McDonald's, like, which is crazy. And then you crash cut to Hassan being like, yo, there's KFC in Yemen, bro.
This only works if you legitimately think that even a prominent figurehead within the Ansar Allah movement is equivalent to Benjamin Netanyahu. They are not, let alone a fucking random Yemeni TikTok influencer. Okay? They're not equivalent. Yes, one is on the right side of this genocide, anti-genocide. The other one is the one responsible for doing the genocide. That's why you're mad. It's just fucking insane.
Yeah, it's like
But this is the problem. Like, these motherfuckers that watch this shit and watch the Slop-tubers without realizing are unironically they're unironically tapping into this fucking distorted worldview. That's the problem. That's what's so frustrating about this issue, is that there are so many people who just like don't even exercise a little bit of critical thinking on this issue and go, yeah, no, actually, it's so much worse. It's so much fucking worse that Hasan interviewed a fucking Yemeni teenager, or a terrorist. He interviewed a terrorist. He interviewed a terrorist over and over and over again. And being like, why are they terrorists? Oh, that's right. Because they're fucking implementing a naval blockade because
fighting the genocide.
Israel is doing a genocide. Okay? It's crazy.
Yeah, in
No
the just
way.
world,
There's-
Rashid would be able to sue these people for everything
Yeah.
they have, because the evidence they had for him being a Houthi is crazy. But even
Yeah.
if he was, right?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're so
against the
unbelievably
genocide. They're against the
They're
genocide.
so unbelievably committed to the delusion that this guy is a Houthi, is what they keep repeating over and over
Yeah.
again. Even if he was, it doesn't matter. And I've said that from day one. Like, I have told Ethan Klein 10 toes down within the framework of Israel doing a genocide and a regional actor trying to take action against Israel doing a genocide. The Houthis are right. They are correct. They're
They're the
correct to
only
do a
ones
naval
following-
blockade.
They're the only ones following international law.
Yeah.
The obligations of states under the Genocide Convention to intervene against
Yeah.
genocide.
Norm
They're the only
Finkelstein.
ones.
Norm Finkelstein literally said the Houthis deserve a Nobel Peace Prize, that they're heroes of morality. Like, their domestic issues are utterly irrelevant in this conversation. Okay, we are talking about a fucking genocide, and I've proven that this does not matter. This calculation does not matter to you either, because you don't make this calculation when you're talking about the Allied forces during World War II. You don't say, well, the Easy Company was comprised and defending America, which at the time was a segregationist, homophobic, anti-woman country, okay? And in many respects, maybe we haven't really evolved from those positions, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They were on the right side. They were fighting against the fucking Nazi scourge. You don't make that assessment when you're thinking about World War II, when you're thinking about the Holocaust. You don't go, I don't know, was the Easy Company, what was the Easy Company soldiers and their opinion on black people, their opinion on women, their opinion on gay people? It's fucking ridiculous.
What a fucking hack loser bitch that guy is.
Like they're talking about the
I love that they
interview.
invited Hassan Piker on to nestle in so comfortably with Myron, Nick Fuentes.
Wait, what?
And Sneeko. He's
Wait.
with
Now he's saying I'm like nestling in with Myron, Sneeko, and Nick Fuentes, people who fucking despise me, by the way, and I despise them.
And you've talked about that at length.
And I have talked about
For
them
like, what?
more than he has. That's the craziest part.
Exactly.
Because I do care about anti-Semitism. He doesn't. He just wants to weaponize it against not even like critics of Israel necessarily, but it usually is critics of Israel, obviously. But but it's more so just people who fucking make him feel bad.
It's Jews in your chat. Like he said Jews in your chat are tokens. He called them tokens.
That's that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Myron, Nick Fuentes, and Sneeko. He has the same valuable opinion as all of them on the topic of Israel. He's a valuable voice in the panel of great anti-Semitic fucking lunatics. So,
is no one gonna push back? Are there what happened? Did their mics get muted? Like, I know none of those motherfuckers in the room feel that way.
You saw how like even he on his own got to the point of talking about you, and that riled him up to the point where like he's yelling. And they didn't even say anything. So I'm assuming challenging him on that point on anything to do with you would result in. I'm pretty sure it has. He kind of freaks out. So it's like
he does.
The vibe of the show are so because it's like everyone's like, I don't want to say anything about this because this guy's gonna freak out at me and it's gonna be uncomfortable for the next hour.
Who's this? Are you gonna have Peyton on soon now that he's out of jail?
Peyton.
I don't know.
I think that the inability for people to distinguish between that group of people that are anti-Semites that have extensive evidence of being anti-Semitic versus you who is pro-Palestine and has an extensive evidence of being against anti-Semitism, and then framing you as just the same thing because they don't they're not willing to even look into it.
Ethan is a goblin because of his behavior, not his identity. Let's make it known. No, Ethan himself is like called himself goblin mode over and over again. But I think now that his community has changed so much in the last year or so that people are people think that people are being anti-Semitic when they call Ethan being a goblin. Like that was his own personal assessment that he would just be like, he calls it goblin mode when he behaves in these I guess now it's all just I guess it's all goblin mode now.
Yeah, it's like the whatever historical tropes are being invoked that have history to them are now just being used to defend Israel.
Like goblin is like
rats and
like
goblins.
J.K. Rowling has basically really pushed that fucking trope. Okay,
Gringotts goblins are crazy.
Yeah, they're what do you mean money goblins? They control the money
with the big noses. That's so nuts.
Yeah, but no, I think like with Ethan, it's just like that's him calling himself goblin mode, which is usually an indication that like his former fans, when they call him a goblin, they're literally referencing that. And it's really interesting because like his new fans don't know that.
Right. And they're all Zionists, so they think it's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're done with this shit.
Fleeing from responsibility for what they have done and said in the last 2 years to help enable this genocide. Do not let them do so. Remember who they are and do not give them a path to opening up a new grift.
Look at this perfectly same person doing a great job making people pro-Israel. You should be raped. A furious Zionist yells at Jewish Voice for Peace activists rallying in Gaza in New York. He goes on to shout rape threats, death wishes, and anti-Semitic slurs. Let's see what the latest and greatest is in the pro-Israeli propaganda side. There's a Jewish Voice for Peace protest, a sit-in taking place in New York. Let's hear what this wonderful, kind old man has to say to them.
Drop dead, drop dead, drop dead. You fucking bitch. You should be raped. You deserve it. You're not a Jew, you're a You're lucky I don't have a gun because I take a machine gun and kill you all last. You could put that on wherever you want. I got a video of you threatening to shoot them. Good. They deserve it.
That's interesting, man. That's cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to fucking say. That's great, dude. That seems like a normal way to spend your afternoon. Oh, wait. Oops. Your mic was off.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Speak.
Just saying, like, this is some they say in interviews in Israel. You know, you can't be doing that here. People will clip it. That's super normal of him. And he just called them, like, to defend Israel, to defend the Jewish state, use a slur for Jews and tell them, wait, and they're Jewish too. Tell the Jewish people they need to.
They're Jewish.
I'm going to do a mass. Okay, I can't even say that because it'll get clipped. But, like, yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, he said he wants anti-Zionist Jews to be raped and machine gunned, and that he would actually machine gun the anti-Zionist Jews himself if given the opportunity. Thank God for gun control, by the way. Oh my God.
Dude, this stuff, as it happens more, it makes people see that, like, the people defending Israel are psychotic. The lengths they will go and the things they will say.
You have to be.
And you have to be, right. And the way you seeing it over and over again.
At this stage, you have to be so shameless and so repulsive.
Right.
To not even be able to read the room. Because there's plenty of people who still love Israel, want to defend Israel, but at least they have the capacity, because they're, like, in the real world around other people, they have the capacity to recognize that, like, the environment has shifted so dramatically that they just shut the fuck up.
To the party lines about Hamas in hospitals and civilian casualties.
No, but even that, I think, like, as time passes, like, because that's the last hang up.
That's the last one. Right?
That's the last hang up for people, is like, but Hamas as a counter. And I think it's like a relatively successful counter still for especially boomers. Because I think, like, as more time passes, like, I mean, you got people who are just, like, straight up saying they're pro Hamas, right? You got, like, in our generation and younger, people are just like, no, I'm pro Hamas. Who cares, right? Like, that's what they're saying. But for boomers, especially, like boomer libs, right? But Hamas line still kind of works.
Yeah, we saw it in the New York Times, like
right that is, well, I mean, it's working less and less. That's my point. The whole, like, but Hamas, but October 7, but Hamas, but October 7 has worked to at least, like, to make people turn a blind eye to the atrocities, but it's a much smaller.
It works when nobody's paying attention, and when they're not live streaming the genocide.
There's a longer video. What more did he say? What? He had more words.
Great, and I hope this guy puts it on.
Why I oughta?
What'd he say?
He said, "Why I oughta." That's funny. That's funny. I mean, if he wasn't like a rapist, mass murderer, fantasizing about doing that to a bunch of anti-Zionist, anti-genocide Jews, it would be a funny comical character, I think. Why I oughta?
This just happened today.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like when the UN is Hamas, and when the New York Times is Hamas, and when everyone that says we should stop a genocide is Hamas, it's like, you can't keep that up. It doesn't work.
Bro, I had someone reach out to me and was like, why are you saying this? Because I made fun of Rabbi Shmuley. Rabbi Shmuley said, God is an anti-Semite.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, now after the UN is Hamas and after the New York Times is Hamas, now God is Hamas. Yeah. And someone didn't understand it. They were like, this is, like, shocking. This is a shocking thing you said. Like, why would you say this? And I was like, dude, I'm making fun of this.
Who does that leave? Like the devil, I guess?
No, the devil been Hamas, dude.
Yeah.
You fuck. You're not a Jew. You're no Jew. Look at you. You're disgusting. You're vile, disgusting.
This guy, on the other hand, does not look disgusting at all. He looks cool.
filth, you fuck.
Loki getting them with that middle
Fuck,
finger.
you piece of shit. You're not a. You can put that on wherever you want.
video of you threatening to shoot them and
Good. They deserve it. Anyone who
This is
supports this shit.
Daniela Weiss shit at the a settler interview. That's what this sounds like to me.
Yeah.
But where is this in New York? Crazy. We're getting real bold with it.
It's funny because this guy could perhaps be older than the state of Israel. Like, I mean, he probably isn't. He's probably like, he's actually 40. This is just what he looks like because he's a fucking fascist, but
Yeah, that shit ages you quickly, I feel like.
yeah. Notice how when he recorded, he didn't use slurs or say anything about for killing them. Yeah, but he was being recorded, so he got.
You're not a Jew. None of you are disgraceful. And Gaza, it's Hamas who's keeping the food, you morons. If that even.
Israel has
convinced.
unnecessarily re-engineered the distribution of aid, failing to achieve its goal of separating the civilian population from Hamas while further constricting its supply. And for these actions, it is attracted to justify condemnation of the international community. This is the part of the article they think is anti-Israel from Al-Khatib. He wrote an entire fucking article saying starving the Palestinians is actually for Hamas. It's not Israel that is like entirely responsible for this. It's Hamas that's responsible for this.
People are mad now. This is messed up. Why is the international community mad at them?
It's the very same people that actually denied when Palestinians that are literally in fucking Gaza were saying we are being starved by Israel. They denied all of those calls for help until it became a major issue because Westerners said, oh my God, I'm seeing emaciated children.
Yeah, the Zionist propaganda apparatus really went after the photo of that starving kid, where the New York Times failed to disclose that the kid had cerebral palsy. So showing the starving disabled kid without saying that he was disabled, just being starved, was like Hamas propaganda, right?
That was insane.
That's like they're still running with that.
But to me, that reflects how echo chambered the pro-Israel side is, where they literally do not understand how they come across to normal people. Like the argument, this is the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast. That's what it's called, I think, right?
Yes.
The host of Israel's Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast emphasized that their fellow Jewish Israelis enjoy seeing people in Gaza suffer and that it makes their daily lives more satisfying to know that Palestinians are hungry and homeless.
Is this podcast from Israel?
I
It's
think
an American podcast.
I think it's like the largest like English speaking podcast in Israel or something. That's how
Man,
they
they got
build
the
them.
fucking Nazi Nelk boys over there. That's crazy.
Or just a Nelk boy behind.
They should collab.
Yeah, Ben, maybe should go on this show.
He's the.
That's because we're looking for international legitimacy. No one actually gives a shit. Zero people in Israel. If you go up to them and you're like, do you care if this baby in Gaza gets polio? They'll be like, I don't just get out
Yariv
of-"
Oppenheimer would care.
Yeah, okay. There'll be like 20 people who care, and they're all wearing Meretz shirts. Like, them.
You're wearing what?
But
Meretz.
seriously, nobody would give a shit. They'd be like, leave me alone, man. I'm trying to like buy
Eat ice
shit
cream.
for Shabbat. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off. I don't care about this gazzing polio.
Also, as long as they're in their Nakba state in their tents, you know, and we're living still, like, you know, if you put aside the news, day to day is okay. Yesterday we went to a concert.
Yeah.
In Ayalkon Park. We had lots of fun, me and my girlfriend. Shalom Chanoch.
Wow.
We danced.
Yeah.
And it
Tel
was,
Aviv beach
it was
footage right
amazing.
now.
And
zone
you
of
can't help but
interest shit.
think, like, it's nice to know that you're dancing in a concert while hundreds of thousands of Gazans are, you know,
Homeless.
like sitting in a tent and eating.
Makes it even better.
Yeah.
More enjoyable content.
I mean, put the fucking Nova Festival footage in context of what they're saying here, and you kind of understand where the animosity comes from. You know what I mean?
Do they think
Like-
this helps? Do they think this is good, or it's like they just like what are these guys? What are these guys doing?
He literally just said, we're going to our festivals and dancing while the Palestinians are being fucking starved to death. Okay? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Why the do you think a person literally gets to a point where they are getting on a gyrocopter, okay, and parachuting into a fucking festival to shoot people. How do you think people get to that position? Okay? How do you think people get to that position? I can totally explain to you the steps of how people can, be born into a society that has actively dehumanized this outside group, and then they join the military, and in their minds they're thinking like they're doing something right, and then like it's the same as like America in some ways, okay, where you just join the military, you think you're doing the right thing, you think you're defending the country, but many Americans cannot comprehend how someone gets to a point where they just go, I'm getting on a fucking gyrocopter on Mario Kart paratrooping into fucking Nova Festival. No one does that for fun. No one is doing that because they're like, oh my God, I just really hate Jewish people so much. That's why I'm doing it. No, they do that because they have no other alternative. It's over. They have realized that Israel has run them out of options.
Yeah, if they protest at the border, 1,000 people, 6,000 people get sniped, right? That's what that's how Israel responds to peaceful protest.
If only they put the
live video
footage of Gaza. Like, but seriously, you guys like that. That's what people don't understand. Look, like I know that you guys might be appalled by this, some of the listeners, but seriously, this is how Israelis feel. And you might think that Eitan Weinstein and Naor, who like refuses to kind of back me up on it publicly.
I'm from the UN.
Yeah, he's the UN. But you might think I'm extreme. But I have conversations with lots of people, coworkers, friends. People enjoy knowing that they are suffering.
No, also it's very prominent on Twitter.
He's saying the quiet part out loud.
When
like,
I
really
say
loudly.
it, motherfuckers get mad at me.
It's anti-Israeli discrimination.
I mean, there's polling on it, man.
82% Jewish Israelis support. What was the wording? It was like 51% support genocide, support the
killing every single Palestinian or something, I think.
Killing after conquering a city, killing every single Palestinian in the city. But like saying it out like this just means the video goes mega viral. People are like, oh, this is Nazi stuff right here. And then you realize that what he's saying about Israeli societal attitudes broadly is accurate. Like in terms of the reflection, they won't say it and come out and say it like this, but the attitudes about the indifference or support of a genocide is it's thorough. But I mean, I've talked about that in videos before, and it's been presented as like discrimination, but it's like this isn't some inherent quality to why people believe these things about Palestinians. It's the necessary mental construction you have to commit ethnic cleansing and to live in a place that is founded off of ethnic cleansing. How else are you supposed to view the people that in order for your state to survive, you must necessarily ethnically cleanse? You have to think stuff like this, at least to some extent. And then, I don't know, the media strategy of just coming out and saying this is like...
Yehuda said he was the one Jew in the video who didn't get arrested, sad face, talking about the fucking bald guy.
Yeah, the mass shooter, raper guy.
True. That was also true. Interesting. Oh, man. What? Why are you throwing up question marks? Oh, this was the original...
These delicious cookies.
What?
Oh, little
You're
Muhammad.
a starving Palestinian
No, you
child.
cannot have a cookie.
What the f***
Not
is this?
until you give us back our land. You want a cookie? You want...
I can't tell. Is this like a f***ing anti-Semitic?
That's the thing. You can't tell. You can't tell.
It's Jay Mershon who sent it, I think. This is... This seems like an anti-Semitic meme, right?
But
like,
we've seen the Israelis do the water, things, or like the dressing up, and like this is indistinguishable at a certain
I feel
point.
like this is anti-Semitic. I think this is anti-Semitic. I don't know. Oh wait, what? No little Muhammad? Wait, oh, it might not be anti-Semitic. It might be. Oh, I mean, it is anti-Semitic, but it might be actually a pro-Israel person. No, wait, but like, dude, no Nazi is gonna find a specifically crafted Star of David yarmulke. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think
that's a commitment to the bit if he is a Nazi.
Wait, what the? No, he says like, these are delicious cookies. No, little Muhammad, you cannot have a cookie, not until you give us back our land. That him saying little Muhammad makes it. I can't tell if this is like a 4chan groiper who's just like, this is how Jews are, or if it's actually just like a person in Israel who's doing this.
I mean, because what he's doing here is indistinguishable from what the podcast Two Nice Jewish Boys were saying, right? In the name of the state. Like this is wild. Like I have no idea.
I still think it's like
a Groiper guy.
I still think it's a Groiper guy because this is POV, you're a starving Palestinian child. Yeah, he isn't wearing it right. It isn't a Jewish person. I think it's a 4chan groiper who hates Muslims and Jews. Yeah. The fact that he said like little Muhammad made me feel like he might be actually just like Islamophobic enough, but groipers also hate Muslims too.
Dude, it's a confusing time to be in the world.
No, that's not the correct way to wear a yarmulke. I think he was wearing it like that so he can show it.
Show the star, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is a Israeli person who's like doing this sincerely, even though there are a million actually Israeli people that have done exactly this. But in this circumstance, this is probably a Nazi.
Crazy, man.
What is this? To be fair, this motherfucker doesn't wear it correctly either. That's swag. You don't understand. He's like, it's like when you're a teenager and you're cool and
he needs to keep
tilt your
new era sticker on it.
Yeah, it's just you just hate him for his swag, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, the entire history of the Palestinian people in one book, a hysterically funny, not real post on Instagram by Israeli mega celebrity Natalie Dadon, with an extremely unexpected and original twist. The dehumanizing shit received 44,000 likes. Israeli Judeo-Nazi model and influencer Natalie Dadon posted this on her Instagram with a caption, "If you're looking for me, I'm on the Israeli Harman, not Syrian. It's all ours except it."
Oh, I remember
yeah, this is after they fucking took more Syrian territory.
Gonna go shred the fucking pow, dude.
Yeah, sick. His account, Menschmager, his account on TikTok. Yeah, this guy's definitely a 4chan groiper, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, dude, look at how many fucking George Floyd memes he's posting.
Yeah.
Wait, why does he say loud and
proud IL?
Wait, what the fuck? I genuinely can't tell. Stop.
Crazy.
What the
Schrodinger's Nazi Zionist.
Oh yeah, dude. Free Palestine from the river to the sea.
Do you even know where Palestine is, buddy?
Oh.
Yeah, he's an Israel guy.
I think this is like
performance art.
What is happening? Hey yo!
Performance art, schizophrenia.
Hey yo! What the fuck? This is, I mean, listen, this is like, is this Yair Netanyahu's account? Did we find Yair Netanyahu? His actual account? Is that what this is?
This motherfucker just hates everybody.
He was posting, I don't know if you know this, Benjamin Netanyahu's son, Yair Netanyahu, was caught posting like Jewish merchant memes, like the puppeteer memes about George Soros. And people were like, what the fuck are you doing? Bro, what is going on here? This is literally like Feiglin. This is the Feiglin archetype. Bro, he has a payot. He's Jewish. One does not have a payot if he's not Jewish. Yeah, it's... No, I think he is. I think he actually isn't.
Let's watch more.
This isn't an elaborate 4chan...
Israel has killed 110 people in Gaza today, including more than 40...
It's not enough, but I'll take it.
Whoa. Yeah.
Israel has killed...
Dude is called Menschmager, 100% Nazi. Dog.
This is stoking anti-ginger sentiment for me personally.
Bro, I don't understand. Okay, listen. Rarely do I ever find something online where I'm like after a couple of videos, I can make a final assessment. Because right now we're trying to figure out if this is a anti-Semitic neo-Nazi who is anti-Israel and trying to present Israeli Jews in like the most negative light, or if it's actually an anti-Semitic neo-Nazi who is Jewish
and
pro-Israel. And I cannot understand what check before October 7. I don't think he has anything before October 7.
Let me tell you something.
This is like he just
He's a
recently.
new guy.
Something. I am proud to be.
Yeah, like even when he says proud, it's like it's fake. It's fake.
Playing up there, yeah.
It sounds fake. Brother, his name is Menschmager. No, I know. Jacob Goldschmidt? No, dude, his name is not actually probably Jacob Goldschmidt. That doesn't matter. You can just like fake lie about your name. In the George Floyd vid, it seems like he's not having a payot, so I think it's fake. Yeah, I think I'm still leaning on the side of him being like a groiper who is effort posting. Like, I mean, one thing we can say is that he is a neo-Nazi for sure.
Yeah.
Whether pro-Israel or anti-Israel, okay? And also, he is deeply mentally ill.
Yeah.
Groiper is trying to bait exactly this. I think so, too. Anyway, but this is, on the other hand, someone who we know is just like simply pro-Israel. Let's see what she had to say. Listen, the new edition has arrived. I've been waiting for this book for so long. You have no idea. You can order this book for me. I'm just going to go through it. Check it out. It's really detailed by chapters, history, origins, flag, kings, currency, ancestral tomes. It's inside this book, the whole history of the Palestinian people, and you're going to find out that it's actually empty pieces of paper. That's so funny.
Israelis are so funny, man.
Dude, yeah. I am a comedian from Israel, and this is my comedy. Oh, this is my art. Bro, I don't know. The words the Hava Nagila were spot on, unless we have a case akin to the transvestigator knowing more than a trans person. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's what it is. That's why motherfuckers that'll start talking about like the Talmud or something, and you're like, dude, Jews don't know what the fuck's going on. Like most normal Jews have no idea. Like that's insane. Why did you do this to yourself? Like, why did you learn so much? I'm gonna learn so much about Judaism. Like I am going to go to rabbinical school to hate Jews extra hard is an insane level of dedication. You are the most mentally ill person on the fucking planet, dude. Holy shit.
The LeBron James of fucking Nazis, man.
Yeah, it's like transvestigators and like transphobic people who like know the latest and greatest in like trans tech, like that know more about like trans culture and trans existence than trans people do because they're like, I'm just gonna hate on them extra hard.
Truly high level hating.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. Most normal don't know is a bit of a stretch. Just say non-religious Jews don't know. Yeah, most Jews are non-religious Jews in America. What are we talking about? Hello? Like overwhelmingly secular. Overwhelmingly. Okay? That's not even a thing. Half of the reason why, it's just like Christians too in America especially, but half the reason why Israel is so important to American Jews as a sense of community and a sense of identity, even though that's obviously changed throughout time, is because secular Jews don't give a fuck about the religious aspect of this. And it's like the sense of like the mythology and the sense of community surrounding Judaism in this country has been expertly and deliberately crafted into a nationalist religion for Israel. The expectation that you're supposed to like keep kosher and even kosherize your kitchen or follow all of these different things that you're supposed to do with the lemon and the tent, right? That's not the expectation. But the expectation is like bare minimum, this place in the desert is actually a safe haven for Jews and you have to defend it. You have to protect it at all costs, and it's really important. It's really important that you care about it, and it's really important that you fight its battles online wherever you can. Do Hasbara. It's called an etrog. It's a citron, not a lemon. Sorry, apologies. I forgot. It's etrog and the sukkah. Yeah. Okay, come on. I've nailed the kosherizing your kitchen part. Okay, call me some fucking slack. Okay. Hasan calling Sukkot the lemon tent holiday. Was that off base?
Somebody said you should say la boo boo in an Israeli accent. That's what they're saying on the streets.
La boo boo. La boo boo.
Clip it.
There you go.